Doobity-bop-bop-doop-bop. You are live. Although it seems like the coin is in front of my face. It's me leaning to the side, isn't it? Being lazy. Anyway, welcome guys. Thanks for joining my video on my channel Bitglen. My name's Glenn, and obviously I'm trying to share with you guys what I learn in the world of cryptocurrency. This is my Sunday night, late night chat show about crypto. That it's a free-for-all. If you want to be a part of this conversation, please join in with the live chat in the YouTube comment section above my head here. Or you can actually join Telegram, or you can actually join the Discord group, which the link to it should be down below. And we just chat about all things and everything crypto, have a bit of banter, have a laugh. So yeah, if you want to be a part of that, feel free to join in. So, well, that's my spiel over and done with. So, what have I been up to in the last week or so? As you can see behind me, I did an update video a couple of days ago talking about this wall that I'm building behind me. Touch wood. So I can actually shelter this off, because I don't know if it's coming across in the videos, but for me, obviously, I'm trying to hear my own voice, and obviously, once people join the Discord group, listen to them chat. But in my other ear, I can hear these obviously annoying fans going off. So it's really for me, and hopefully to improve the quality of the video sound. I'm actually going to build this wall, and I'm going to continue doing that tomorrow and Tuesday. Tomorrow I've got quite a busy day actually. So I need to start looking for a door, some chipboard or some plasterboard, some good insulation which I've already got hold of, and hopefully I'll have two separate rooms here, one for the miners and one for obviously my YouTubing. So the shed is really taking shape into sort of like a little mini office, outhouse, whatever you want to call it. Now that it's actually earning money, I feel like it's justifiable, like why I'm spending so much time. That sounds really bad, but obviously I've been doing YouTube videos now for cryptocurrency for 1 whole year, and obviously in that time, obviously I haven't earned any money. Not that I did the YouTube thing for money. I actually quite enjoy just chatting to you guys. That's why I do so many of these videos. But it just makes it more, you know, every time I come out here and spend an hour in here, you know, my wife says, oh, how are those machines going? They still earning you money? And I'm like, yeah. So whereas before, obviously, she'd be like, I don't know why you do that. I don't know why you sit out there for so long. So now it's, I suppose, I don't know how you word it really. It justifies why I'm out here. I don't know. Fry joins in. He says, hey. I love Bitcoin. I miss that guy. How have you been, Fry? What have you been up to this week? So, from my understanding, what a lot of people are talking about online is, I'm just going to pick on Bitcoin in particular, but Bitcoin going up to say 7k again, 7.5k, and then having this big slump down to like 4k. That's what a lot of people are talking about. I would love it if that was to happen. I really would. The price of Bitcoin doesn't really bother me too much at the moment. As my good friend John keeps pointing out, we're in the accumulation phase. So as long as I'm accumulating some form of Bitcoin, I don't really care what that Bitcoin's worth at the moment. So, but obviously the cheaper Bitcoin gets, the more I can accumulate. So therefore, there is a slight interest to it. So I don't care about the price of Bitcoin in the sense like, oh yes, I've made $100 today. I care more about Bitcoin. I want it to go down as cheap as possible over the next, ideally, in a perfect world, 6 months to a year. I would love for it to be dirt cheap. So I'm really hoping for a dip. I'm really hoping that this bear market continues. I'm sorry if that annoys you or pisses you off listening to this. You might be thinking, Glenn, I bought in at a really bad time and I need to go back up. You may be relying on some altcoins pumping. You need Bitcoin to go up first. I don't know, but that's just obviously, I can only talk, right, this is my situation, this is what I think, and I would love to see Bitcoin at sort of 4,000 to 3,000. I really would, because then my goal of achieving one whole Bitcoin will happen that much faster. So that's my thoughts on it. I'd love to hear what you what you think about Bitcoin price dropping to 4K over the next couple of months. Please comment down below or join the live chat. Just join in and spark a conversation like Fryer has. He says, thinking about going to the ESO hackathon in London next week. I still have hope for ESO, although there are a lot of haters in your follower base. EOS. I was thinking ESO. Oh, I've never heard of it. How can I hate it? Sean joins in. He says, hey Glenn, thanks for joining, mate. EOS. Yeah, EOS is a bit of a funny one, actually, because obviously they promised amazing things over a long time. Remember, their ICO was 1 year long. It weren't just like a couple of weeks. It wasn't a couple of months. 1 whole year. 12 months their ICO ran for. It was probably the largest ICO of all time. They raised the most money, so there's a lot of expectation there. They're currently sitting at $5.38. I remember they went up to, I'm going to say, $15 at one point. Let's have a little look. No, actually, their highest of all time was actually $21. But I remember it being around the $15 mark when I was looking at it at its sort of peak. Yeah, about here, I suppose. And then since then, obviously, it's dropped off. So, but yeah, in forgetting obviously the prices of these coins, I've made it very clear actually for the last probably couple of weeks now in my videos that I pretty much don't believe in any project now apart from Bitcoin. I still stand by that. A random gamer dude, he says hello, thanks for joining, mate. Yeah, it's really difficult. Ethereum's had a bit of a, well, it's had a dreadful week, absolutely dreadful week. It did drop down to I think $170 at one point. Now it's obviously bounced back up to sort of 220, but it started dipping again. So I wonder if that's going to go down even further. But what I am interested in seeing is that if Bitcoin was to drop down to 3K, 4K, obviously a lot of these other coins out there, they're going to dip even harder. So I think it will flush out a lot of the shit coins. We're almost over 2,000 cryptocurrencies, which is insane. Because blockchain, there's only so many variations of an online digital currency you can have, before you have to expect that some of them are going to fail. There are so many, but I suppose you could say there was loads of internet search engines and there were loads of types of Amazon, and always one rises above the other, whatever means they take to get there. But I still believe Bitcoin's that one, to be honest. Just looking at it from, and that's not just because, oh, it's the first one I got introduced to, so therefore it's the best. Looking at the way that it's really hard to explain because it doesn't do anything. There's no one running it. They're not making any decisions. There's no marketing. There's no. So in that regard, you could say it does nothing. It does nothing to entice me on a day-to-day basis. And I remember watching videos ages ago and people talking about the best thing about Bitcoin is that it's going up in price. When it doesn't go up in price, there's literally no use case for it and there's no interest. But that is the best form of marketing. If Bitcoin started pumping back up to 10K, my friends are going to come up to me, now they're aware of it, and say, oh, Glenn, is it the right time to invest in Bitcoin? I heard it's going up. All of a sudden, everyone hears about it. It's the best form of marketing, and it's free. Well, to a certain extent. Sean says, I see on Pro Hashing there is an IRS form thing to be submitted. How does that work? I'm not located in the US. So yeah, you're right. If you go on to pro hashing, there is a form to fill out, and I knew someone would ask me about pro hashing, so I got it all up and ready. When you go into your settings page, which I can't remember if it discloses any personal information, if I do, so I don't really want to go into it too much, but there's basically three little tick boxes, and you can either say that you do live in the USA, or you don't live in the USA, or you do but you have property rights or something. I've just left it. I've completely left it. I haven't answered the question, and it hasn't seemed to affect me in any way. So I hope that helps, Sean. But I know that one of my guys in Team Bitglen, he's actually in America, and he did fill out that form, and that hasn't changed his in any way. But I think as soon as you do that, obviously you're opening yourself up to obviously tax implications. I don't know how it works in America, so just tread carefully and make sure you get some sound advice from maybe an accountant. Don't just take my word for it. So I've tried to change my content lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm trying to do sort of shorter burst videos of just quick updates and things that I learn in the world of crypto. And I've really tried to steer away from basically any other coins than Bitcoin or mining. It's quite hard to generate content over and over again, week by week, day by day, when essentially your message is the same. If you're just saying, just buy Bitcoin and hold on to it, and then I do another video the next day saying, hey guys, just buy Bitcoin and hold on to it. Hey guys, just buy Bitcoin and hold on to it. It gets a bit boring and tedious, I suppose. So yeah, I'm trying to look at obviously doing more, okay, how am I accumulating Bitcoin and giving updates in that regard, as opposed to giving news and research into other altcoins and stuff like that. I've just really lost faith in a lot of altcoins. And there are people out there that will message me and say, Glenn, I know you feel like that, but what about this? Have you looked into that? And I've got to go with my gut feeling. And my gut feeling is that, yeah, some coins are going to pump. And I'll give you the perfect example of this. And again, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion, yeah? If you're looking at coins that potentially could gain traction against Bitcoin to accumulate more Bitcoin, not because you believe in the project, not because you believe in the price, purely just a gut feeling, right, how can I accumulate more Bitcoin? Zaya joins in, says, how are you, mate? I'm good, thanks, mate. A bit of a long week. As you guys may know, my mum's had a heart attack. Sorry to keep rabbiting on, but I think this is my first live stream since that's happened. But she's been in hospital all week. She literally got home, I think either this morning or yesterday, from Basildon Hospital. So it's about an hour drive away. So I am going to go and visit her once she's all better and rested up. So probably tomorrow. But I've been spending a lot of evenings visiting her in the hospital, so that's taken up a lot of my time. Hence why my videos have been short and to the point, which actually I think has actually helped me improve my content, which sounds odd, but I'll talk about that later. So a coin that I'm actually interested in, or a couple of coins, if you were looking at coins that are probably going to gain traction against Bitcoin at some point, and this may annoy people when I say this, I'm really sorry, but I'm just looking at a numbers point of view. Yeah, so let's just say I had one hand over the the name of the coins. What you've got to look at is, well, you can't see my hand on the screen, but if I'm looking at just this price action here, Stellar at the moment is at 20 cents. Now, I can imagine it would be quite easy-ish for Stellar to get up to 40 cents. Bearing in mind, XRP, before all this bear market, was at $3.50. Generally more like $1 most of the time. Stellar obviously is rumoured to join Coinbase soon. I can imagine it going to 40 cent at least, if anything more closer to the $1 mark. Now, that's not financial advice. Please don't just go and buy Stellar. I haven't. This is just what I was thinking earlier. I can't stress this enough. I really can't, because people will start messaging me going, "Oh my God, Glenn, I can't believe you believe in da-da-da." I can imagine Stellar getting close to the $1 mark once it hits Coinbase and once the ball gets rolling. It generally was gaining traction against Bitcoin. You know, it was going up in price on a daily basis. But then we had these big drop-offs. Stellar obviously dropped off with the same with all the others because, let's face it, they're all shit coins at this point. But Stellar has quite a good name and a reputation for itself at the moment. It's got the potential to join Coinbase. And I can see it personally. I can see it going to $1. Now, what does that mean? That means that from where it is at the moment, I can see it 5 times in, 5xing, if you like, X. So if you had $1,000 in Stellar, I can imagine at some point that will equate to about $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. That is all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying on that. And if you look at, say, XRP, if XRP was to go to $1 again, then obviously you're looking at a 3.5 times gain. But obviously that's not rumoured to go onto Coinbase. And it's really a race between XRP and Stellar who's going to, you know, take control of banks and do this, take over Swift payments, international payments wise. All the other coins, I look at them and I can see the potential for them to maybe double if we had like a really big bull run. So I can see Bitcoin Cash running up to $800 one day, and I can see Ethereum going back up to $500. But these are all like 1x, 2x. So when I'm looking at the chart, I'm thinking probably Stellar or XRP have got the potential to fall. Like, so even if it was to 4 times X Stellar, you're looking at 80 cent, which I don't think is too much to ask. And from what I understand, there is less of it in circulation. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys, on which coin will gain the most traction against Bitcoin? Now, I don't want that to turn into, please tell me, please show me what you think are the best altcoins out there. I'm talking which coins will, in the next bull run, gain traction against Bitcoin so that I can accumulate more Bitcoin. So, a random gamer dude said, oh no, Zia says, actually you guys both said, hope your mum does well and recovers. I pray she will be okay. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. A random gamer dude said, Stellar isn't the best coin, but I do see what you're saying. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a good project. I'm not saying it's a good use case. It's just I look at the price. If you put like a black book, so if I was to do this, if I was to go, let's bring up my Finder. If I was to go like this, and you were just looking at these prices here and what they were at one point, forgetting the name of the project, forgetting the people behind it, you would say that whatever this coin is here, it's 27 cent. It used to be $3.50. You've got to say, well, you know, in a bull run, I would imagine that's going to go back up to $1. And this one here is 20 cent. I don't know the name of it, but I can imagine that going up to about 80 cent at some point, which is 4 times where it is now. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Crypto Johnny, thanks for joining, mate. It's nice to see you. He says, I've been holding Stellar for a year now. LOL. Hasn't made me jack shot so far. Just hold. He says, shit, not shot. Glenn, get your mum out walking. It's a lifesaver after a heart attack. Speaking from experience, bud. Thanks, Johnny. When I actually went and visited her, I said to her, should we get out of this grotty ward and You know, it was a load of old people and they're moaning about the window being open. So I got her a wheelchair, wheeled her out, and I just took her out and we sort of like fed the ducks that are near the hospital. And she said, oh, this is so much nicer than being in there. And it started raining. And I said, oh, we should get you in, you know, because it's starting to rain. And she said, no, I want to stay here, Glenn. I really don't want to go back in that room. Because when she would go back in that room, she'll be in there for like another day or two. So we just stayed there in the rain, really. She really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I completely agree with you. 21 Up Bowls, thanks for joining, mate. He says, ADA has lost a load, so could have potential. ADA, so unfortunately for that, I am going to have to see the Cardano. It's at 69 cent. Let's have a look. You've got to say, so there's no point looking at the all-time highs. That's my honest belief, because you're just gambling that, you know, things are going to go up past where they were before. So I think that's a bit wrong. But if you were looking at, okay, what's a realistic price point that it will get back to? So I would say that Cardano, ADA, at some point was worth, well, it's most likely to be worth 25 to 30 cent. At the moment, it's worth just under 7 cent. So if you're looking at that, that is a 7, 14, 21, 28, maybe a 5 times gain. So yeah, that's a good show actually. So they're the type of things that I'm looking for. I haven't converted anything into any of these coins, and I probably won't be doing it for a little while. I just thought once I've accumulated so much Bitcoin, maybe I'll put $100 or something. If it does 5 times X, then I'll have $500 worth of Bitcoin at some point. But then on the flip side of that, for a coin to pump, generally you need Bitcoin to pump with it, which therefore the money that you have taken out of Bitcoin has lost that pump. But this is only if those coins outperform what Bitcoin's doing. So that's what I'm talking about, you know, and you have to weigh up the pros and cons of doing it either way. Crypto Johnny says, ZEC and Digibyte Otology is what I trade to BTC. So quite a few there, Johnny. Fryer says, EOS and NEO will gain most against Bitcoin in case of a bull run, in my opinion. Sorry, Fryer, I disagree with you there. Thought about buying NEO, but don't want to put more money in at the moment. Ethereum might gain too. Yeah, I believe that once all of these coins go on a bull run, if they ever do, if they survive, yeah, all of them will have a run. But this is the key. Will they have a bigger run than Bitcoin? So if Bitcoin goes up 10% in a day, will they go up 20%? That's what I'm looking at, and that's the way I'm thinking now. So let's have a little look at Bitcoin. You can see here really the only coins that have made traction against Bitcoin, oddly enough, for Stellar. They hadn't earlier when I was checking all of these. So they've done well today. The rest, you got Cardano at 0.06, Tron at 0.37. So really, oh look, Dogecoin, damn it! Oh, Dogecoin, why'd you do it to me? So I was looking at actually transferring some of my Bitcoin that I've mined, and I'll get into the amounts that I have here available in a second. I was actually looking at transferring some into Dogecoin, but I don't think Exodus supports Dogecoin. From what I can see. So I can't do it. Otherwise, I've got to send the money to an exchange and then lose the money out on the exchange. I thought, nah, sod that. I have at least 75% in Bitcoin, no matter what happens. Well done, Fry. That's good. I like that. Yeah, Ethereum will only go up too much volume, not two. Profits are going down day by day with the Z9 Mini. Right, so we're getting into the mining part. I knew it would take you guys a little while to warm up. I tell you what, it's getting nice and toasty in here. It's actually quite cold outside, but in here with the fans running, it's getting quite warm. I don't know if you can see I'm sweating a bit here actually, so they're doing their job. Crypto Johnny says, gotta go drink some suds with the boys by a pool. I'll watch broadcast later. Have a good one. Thanks for that, Johnny. Don't forget to give this video a like before you leave. And if you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button. There should be a little coin here that says Bitglen. Just click on that if you're on an iOS device or on your computer. Random Gamer Dude says, crap. I was thinking about putting some of my Bitcoin that I have into Dogecoin as well. So another one of the projects actually that me and Team Bitglen regularly sort of big up really is Bitcoin, Dogecoin and Monero. They seem to be the three, and Litecoin. A lot of people like Litecoin. So I would say they're like the four that people really tend to stick to. They've got, we don't know the creator of them. There's no one point of failure, so they can't arrest someone and that project just goes down. If the creator of Dogecoin got arrested tomorrow, I don't know if it would affect the price. It probably would actually, because the creator of Dogecoin is public. But say Monero, we don't know who the creator of Monero is. So, you know, if he got arrested, if there was some bad news about him, you know, they can't shut down his computer, his server. So, not to say that them projects won't ever fail. Even Bitcoin, apparently Satoshi's wallet has 1 million Bitcoin in there. I don't know how true that is. I'm sure someone's got proof of it somewhere. But one day if someone finds that 1 million Bitcoin, dumping that on the market all at the same time could lower the price of Bitcoin. So even Bitcoin's not 100% guaranteed. But they're projects that generally, I think, fit the ethos of cryptocurrency, whereas all the others are really you're investing in little companies, which unfortunately will end up going bust. So yeah, let's get into the mining side of it now. We've talked about cryptocurrencies for a little while. So Pro Hashing. This is the site that I use for my mining. Now, someone did mention, his name was PJ in the Telegram group chat. It's a shame he isn't here with us, actually. Crypto North joins in. He says, sup, gents. He said that I'm getting ripped off, in I think it was his words, with Pro Hashing, which, you know, I'd love to hear his feedback from other pools, because he mines with Z9 minis as well, and he converts these into Bitcoin. He does his slightly differently, and obviously he showed that he's actually earning more Bitcoin. So obviously I need to look into that and see if there is a better way. Unfortunately, the only way of me knowing that is if I actually change the pool that I'm using to another pool and try it out for 24 to 48 hours, I'd say, just to give it a real good chance and see what the price difference is. So what I might actually end up doing is creating like a chart on my Excel spreadsheet. I love a spreadsheet, to see what I mine every single day Bitcoin-wise, because really it's quite easy to fall into the trap of just looking at this. That. Don't know if you can see it on my screen. You may look at it and say, oh, is that all I've mined today? $7. But again, remember, we don't care about what the price of Bitcoin is right now. We care about this. This is the figure we should look at. But obviously, this is a harder figure to comprehend in your head. When you're looking at something that's 0.001207994, you know, the next day when you look at it, if that said 0.0011094, it'd be harder for your brain to recognise that that's like a lot lower amount than what you mined the day before. I know that sounds really stupid, but I just think that's honest facts. Whereas it's quite easy, and obviously we're all trained in fiat money our whole life, it's quite easy to go, I mined $10 yesterday, why am I only mining $9.50? So really I need to look at what I'm actually getting for the amount of Bitcoin each day. That's what I want to do. Again, we're in the accumulation phase, not in the US dollar making phase. John says, coming up on the Discord. Yes. Have I got Discord up? Yes, I have. It should
What's
be.
up, gents?
There he is. Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, how you doing?
You've joined at just the right time, actually, because I was just about to talk about pro hashing and the Z9 minis.
All right, that's good.
We were just talking about EOS and Stellar and Ripple and all that sort of crap before.
Yeah, Stellar's doing not too bad right now, huh?
Well, Stellar seems to be like a dark horse, really, because, like I was saying, it's due to go on to Coinbase at some point, or it's rumored to go on Coinbase. And it generally sort of performs better against Bitcoin, you know, on days when Bitcoin pumps. So I was wondering whether it would be worth holding on to some just to buy back into Bitcoin when it has a really good day.
Yeah.
But it's not on Exodus, and I haven't got a Stellar wallet, so I'd have to create one. Then I'd have to get either pro hashing to convert some of my Bitcoin into Stellar, and I thought, nah.
Yeah, I feel yeah. That's kind of an ordeal to do all that stuff. I've got a little Stellar myself, and it's actually in a. I know I shouldn't do this, but it's on an exchange right now. So.
Well, that's my other option. Send it over to Binance and then trade it to Stellar and all that shit. But I just thought, nah.
Yeah.
I'm all about that Bitcoin, boy.
Get that Bitcoin. That Bitcoin.
Bitcoin Jake said, sup, dude, what are you mining with? He said, you get the E3. No, I haven't got the E3. I've got two Z9 minis. And I'm due to get the big Z9, hopefully within the next week or so. I don't know if you saw my video earlier, John.
Yeah, I did. I checked that out. So it's in the mail, huh?
Yeah, it's been shipped as of yesterday or last night, I believe.
That's good. As soon as you get that thing, got to plug it in.
Tell me about it. So if we have a little look at the, like just what to mine, because again, this gives us a rough idea of what's happening with the Equihash algorithm. 40,800 souls, which is what I believe it advertises. 11,050 watts. I think that's what the watts are for that machine. At a cost of 14 cents, which I don't know if you saw my video the other day. I've actually found a cheaper electricity supplier. They only came up a few days ago, so I'm going to join them very shortly. So my electricity cost should go down by about 1.5 to 2 cents per kilowatt hour.
Yeah, that'll help out.
Yeah. And this has gone down quite a bit. When I did my video earlier, it was about $20, and now it's saying $18.60.
Yeah, it's a squeeze right now for all the miners, isn't it?
And again, this is obviously in just US dollar terms. What does that mean in Bitcoin terms? So I believe with this what to mine, I don't know if you can see my screen, John. You know when it says
yeah, I'll pull it up.
estimate rewards within 24 hours? That's in that coin, yeah? So like this is, you'd gain 1.2 Horizon or Zen within a 24 hour
I believe
period.
so, yeah.
Does it state on here? Oh yeah, it says here, revenue in Bitcoin in 24 hours. So this is how much Bitcoin it's going to generate each day, which that's the real figure that I'm looking at. But again, I find that quite hard to comprehend. So I just look at the US dollar terms just as a guideline, if you like. I don't know if you do the same.
Yeah.
Random Gamer Dude said, I can't hear you guys on the Discord for some reason. That's a shame. Hope you get that sorted. Bitcoin Jake says, sweet dude, so that's Equihash. What crypto are you mining with it? Well, actually, on this mining pro hashing, what it does is it mines for you whatever's the most profitable coin. So while I'm live with you, you may see that this changes from Zcash to Z Classic or Zen or whatever the other coins are. and then it just converts whatever you've mined into Bitcoin and then sends that to your address. So that's quite handy and easy, really. You haven't got to do anything. Although I did have to reset my machine today, John, just before I came live. One of them had 2 of the boards have failures on, and it was only getting 3,000 souls.
Oh, what was your temperatures at? Because usually I'll see that if the temperatures get too hot, if they get above 71°C, then they'll start turning the boards off.
Yeah, I think it was about 71 actually. Let's have a little look at what they are right now as we talk. They are getting on the hotter side actually. Yeah, one of them does say 71 right now. It is quite hot in here, and I find this quite odd actually. I don't know if someone could clarify this in the live chat. The colder it is outside, the hotter it gets in here. I don't know if that's right, but yeah, it seems like, because during the day when the sun's out, the air outside and the air in here is pretty even, or, you know, it's actually cooler outside or whatever. When it's cold outside, the heat really ramps up in here. So I don't know if that's a real thing. I don't know if I've just made that up, but I need to look into that, because it gets hotter in here at night time than it does during the day.
You got any ventilation or anything going for the miners?
Not really, no, not yet. I need to get...
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at getting those air vents I was telling you about. They're about 20, 30 quid each, which is about $40, $50. And I was looking to buy 4 of them. So obviously you're talking like 150 quid, 200 quid. So, oh no, sorry. No, that's about right. 120, something like that. So yeah, it's just a waiting game for that, I suppose. But it seems like it doesn't matter.
I was looking at the...
yeah, go on.
I was looking at the... we were talking about... with PJ, we were talking about the rate at which pro-hashing the pool fee, right?
Yeah.
And I guess we were talking about the difference between using pro-hashing and paying that 4.9% pool fee to have them convert it for you and put it into the your address for you, rather than just mining a profitable coin on the Equihash and then converting it in your Exodus wallet. And what I figured out is that obviously, depending on how much you're going to move, let's say you've got 3 Zcash and you want to exchange those 3 Zcash for Bitcoin. So your fee depends on how much your transaction is, right? So it could be more or less. It's not always $5 to $8. It's, if you have a lot if you're moving a lot, it's going to cost more, right?
Is this through Exodus you're talking about?
Yeah, so if you're using Exodus, if you have a lot of coins that you're transferring to Bitcoin, it's going to cost a hell of a lot more than 4.9%.
Well, actually, the point that PJ was making, and I think I misinterpreted it actually at first, because when he first sent that message saying, Glenn, you're getting ripped off through pro-hashing, you should just mine with Flypool and convert it. When I actually looked at the figure, and I can't remember him exactly now, but I think he paid something like $7.50 to convert Zcash into Bitcoin through Exodus, which actually for the amount that he was transferring, I worked it out and I was like, because I got my calculator out and I was like, actually that's 5%. So percentage wise, it was the same. But the point he made after that was what got me thinking. He said, yeah, it's not about the percentage. Look how much Bitcoin I've mined in a week. And he mined like 0.02 something. I mined 0.01 something. So I was like, oh. So he's saying he's accumulated more Bitcoin mining through Flypool. So that's what I need to look at, as opposed to stressing about this 5% thing. Is that would you earn more Flypool versus pro hashing in terms of Bitcoin value?
Well, you would if you waited for Zcash to be a percentage above Bitcoin and then trade it. Yeah, absolutely, you'd earn more Bitcoin.
Yeah, so well, that goes either way, doesn't it? Because you may trade it on a day where Zcash is doing really bad against Bitcoin, but then obviously you hope that it goes up again one day.
Yeah, like today.
Oh, what, has it done really bad, is it?
I think Zcash is 2% lower than Bitcoin right now.
One of the guys is saying that the link that I've posted has expired. So let's see if I can do a new one. Put it in the live chats in case people want to join in. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, that would be an old one. It's because I'm doing a live. Because I only do live streams once a week now. The details that I save in the description haven't updated. So try that, guys. If you want to join in with the Discord chat, you're more than welcome to join in and chat, as long as there's no abusiveness. And oh, and I'll stay on page. That should be all good to go. Yeah, let's have a little look at Zcash. You were saying, John, that it's had a bad day against Bitcoin.
Yeah, I just checked CoinMarketCap. It's 2% lower than Bitcoin. Yeah. So, I mean, that theory's sound. If you would do that, you theoretically could make more Bitcoin a day, but you'd have to wait until the coin that you're mining to turn into Bitcoin was higher against Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin Jake says, I feel like that's why you should just pick one crypto to mine, something you research and believe in. Hodl till it pumps, then sell if you want, like ETC or XMR. Well, unfortunately, in that, I haven't got those. If you're mining with GPUs, you can do that because you can mine a variety of different algorithms. Obviously, the machines that I have, the only coins that are available to me to mine are Zen, Z Classic, Zcash, Commercium, Bitcoin Private, Komodo, and is that Hush? And
yeah,
I don't particularly believe in any of those. So probably the only one that you could say would be worth holding on to because it might gain traction against Bitcoin is Zcash. But that's it. I don't see any of the others there that I would like to hold on to. And I'm not a huge fan of Zcash, so I'd rather just convert it to Bitcoin as and when I get it. I don't know. What are your thoughts, John? Do you have like a different strategy? Do you just convert to Bitcoin, or do you hold on to certain ones?
I'm on the same thought process as you right now. It's like, I think out of all those, Zcash would be the best one to hold on to, but I'm trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible right now, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm running out of time. It's almost like a panic sensation. It's like shit, I need to accumulate Bitcoin quick. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel like that, or is it just me going crazy?
Well, some of that's that FOMO, right?
FOMO, yeah, fear of missing out.
But it's because the price is so low right now. It's easier to get in on Bitcoin.
Yeah, gotta get that Bitcoin, boy. So, just for the people watching who may not have watched my previous videos, who have just joined in, I've been mining with these miners now for about, I'm gonna say, I think it's 9 days now. But I have to say that I think a day and a half, 2 days out of them, I was mining solo and I earned absolutely zero. So if I had left it as it was, I would have accumulated a bit more, probably another, I'm going to say $20, which is about 14, 15 pounds. So we could say that potentially I could have been on 135 pounds now worth of cryptocurrency in the space of 9 days. But more importantly, I've accumulated 0.024 of a Bitcoin. Now, when I look back over to my spreadsheet, we all love a spreadsheet, I know. That's why we get up in the morning. Obviously, I'm trying to accumulate 0.37 of a Bitcoin. So I'm almost just a few days away from being at 10%, which I'm really happy about, actually.
Hey.
Damn, boy. 10%. Oi! But saying that, John, tell us, what is going on with the Zcash difficulty?
Oh, it's going through the roof, isn't it?
I was expecting a bit more in depth than that, but yes, that is right.
Yeah, so
go on.
The difficulty is just absolutely going crazy. Just a few months ago, it was down at 15 million, and now since everybody's got their batch 2s and kept the whole of their batch 1s, minis, and now that the Z9 Big Daddies are coming out,
yeah,
it's just gone through the roof.
So I'm looking at the 1 day chart, 1 month, sorry, chart of Zcash difficulty, and it was around the 15 million mark. It sort of dipped. And how often does it change? Is it a daily thing or is this an hourly thing? How often does this keep changing?
Oh, it changes all the time. Just as within today, it's gone from almost 25 million down to 20 million. And right now it's currently at like 21.7.
So we can expect then that within the next, what, like next month or so, that the difficulty could be at 35, closer to 40 million.
Yeah, it could easily be 38 million once everybody turns on their Z9s.
So if we was
once they're shipped,
yeah, I mean once all those Z9s are delivered. But to be honest though, I wonder how many of those were actually bought, because even myself and obviously a few of the guys in the Team Bitglen chat were all like, no, get the Z9 Mini, get the Z9 Mini. And even someone commented on my video today when I commented saying I'm getting the big Z9. They said, why are you doing that? Why didn't you just buy 4 Z9 Mini? So I never saw the Z9 sold out. It seemed to always be available.
Yeah.
If anything, it dropped in price before it's even been delivered. So I wonder if it was as popular as people think.
I don't think so. I think that once that in Silicon's, what is it, the Z9 Master, I think once they came down in price last month, rather than buying one for 10,000 and getting, buy one get one free for 10,000. I think a lot of people went that route instead of the Z9 Big Daddy.
But even those machines, if I was looking at them, I'd say, well, I might as well just get 4 or 5 Z9 Minis. Them Z9 Minis are so good. Like, they really are. You got the heat, the noise, the power costs are all low on them, and their output, especially overclocked. And I think that's why Bitmain reduced the ability to overclock them, because they probably saw that and thought, fuck, we've really shot ourselves in the foot here, because we're trying to flog this 3.5 grand machine. But it's actually better to buy 4 little ones.
Yeah, the batch 1 Z9 Minis were absolutely phenomenal. They were just super efficient. They had more, I believe they had 6 volt chips on them, volt regulator chips. And obviously batch 2 only has 4. But the batch 1 were just like awesome compared to these.
Yeah, it's a shame, because obviously a lot of people feel like they're getting screwed over. I just want to say a bye to Bitcoin Jake. He's saying peace. He's got to go work now. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to give this video a like before you leave, and click the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Yeah, a lot of people felt that they're getting screwed over with Bitmain. Obviously, there's such hype around buying something. You purchase it, you wait 2 months for it to get delivered, and you just see bad news one after the other. Oh, they can't be overclocked. The price has dropped. Bitcoin's gone down in price. The profitability's gone down. And you just, I know with that Z9, obviously, like I say, I've gone into a venture with someone else on them, and they're very, very negative. They're like, is there any chance we get our money back and we return it? Should we sell it as soon as we get it? And I completely sympathise, because it's a shit position to be in. But then it's really, it is really difficult because there's a lot of machines out there, GPUs, ASIC machines, that are just mining at a negative loss. So
yeah, you're right.
We're moaning about these machines.
We got to keep in mind, though.
Yeah.
We got to keep in mind, though, is that this whole thing comes in waves, right? So the mining thing, the price of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, all that stuff, it comes in waves. So a lot of times you really just got to like kind of hunker down and you just got to go through the storm to ride the storm out.
Sit on that beach with your nuts out and just wait for the tide to just wash them over.
That's right.
Just soak back that sun. Obviously, we're in the hard work phase now. So, yeah, there are a lot of people that may be watching this that might be like, shut up, Glenn. Like, I've been mining for 2 years and I've been regularly mining at a loss. You're moaning that your machines are only making $20 a day. You know, go to hell, Glenn. We hate you.
Yeah, some guys are making like $1, $2 a day.
Yeah, and like you said, I hope for those people, because the miners obviously are supporting the network. So they're not only just buying Bitcoin and hoping it goes up and just hodling. They are actually doing something that supports and grows the security and the safety of this whole thing that everyone wants to succeed. So at some point, obviously, I'd love to see all miners all around the world obviously achieve what they want to achieve and earn decent money from it. But at the moment, that's looking very, very bleak.
Well, all you got to do, Glenn, is get one of those Bitmain clocks. So you just plug it in and it just mines all the time, and you never know.
Actually, talking about those, John, have your ones ever had like a failure or an error or anything like that, or do they just continuously keep going?
They just continuously keep going. I bought it as kind of a joke, right? Because I've never seen a clock that mines Litecoin or Dash or Litecoin. And it was like $40, so I bought it anyway. And they just came out with a new firmware version for it, so you can mine whatever pools you want.
No
Before
way.
It was... What?
Well, you can mine any... did you say algorithm or pool?
Pool.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you... But they're all the same, right? So there's a Dash clock, there's a Litecoin clock, and a Litecoin clock. So if you upload their new firmware, then you can change to any pool that you want. So it's kind of cool.
Have you done that? And what sort of figures are you getting from one of those?
Oh, it's not much. I think it's like 80 cents a day.
Are you mining solo, or are you mining?
I'm mining paper share, and I think I'm actually.
Yeah, who knows? That could be worth $100 in the future. I mean, I would like to actually get a couple of them because they're so cheap. I was thinking next time I do my... Yeah, I remember. Yeah, if you haven't seen it already, can you post the link to your YouTube channel? Yeah, if you want to check out Crypto North's videos that he's done on the what one did you get? The Litecoin one. He got the Ant-Router R3 LTC. Join the Discord group. The link to it is in the description, wherever the box is. I don't know where they appear on live videos. I checked on Bitmain's website. Have you looked at this Ant box, John? You haven't seen it? ant box. It's like a Bitmain's just add water mining farm operation. Well, they've changed the price now to be to TBD, to be determined, I assume. Oh, it says can't hear John. Has John gone? Oh, maybe. I'll take these out. Say hello, John.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think when I put the earphones in, only I can hear you. So no one could hear what you've been saying the last few minutes. Oh, my fault.
Oh.
Burn. Sorry about that, guys. John was just saying he's got the Ant Router R3, the Litecoin version, and there's a firmware update so that you can actually pick what pool you want to mine in. And he's been doing that for a little while, and he's got an actual video about it on his YouTube channel. He'll post a link to it in my Discord chat if you want to be a part of that. The link to it is down below. So everyone's all happy now because they can hear you again.
Hey, he's back.
He's back. He knows what he's talking about. Not like this amateur, Glen. I haven't seen anyone post any videos about this S9 Hydro yet. I'd love to see one of those up and running and how much it costs and what the figures are.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it myself because I'm not interested.
You know, that's not Bitmain's first hydro cooling ant miner. They made one back in the early thousands, I believe, or it's like the C1, I believe this one's called.
Right.
Ant miner C1. They made one a long time ago. Around like when the S4s and S3s were coming out. I think that was like early John, 2003 or 2000.
When do you think will be the next evolution of, miners from Bitmain? Are we going to see an S10 soon, or can you see him releasing a?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think right now the biggest thing they're worrying about is that typhoon that just hit China, and there's two right behind it. So I don't know what they're thinking right now, but I don't know. I kind of think they're behind the power curve a little bit. You've got other companies like GMO, which is a Japanese company, and then in Silicon, and then there's that other software chip engineer from Bitmain that supposedly left Bitmain.
Yeah, he's creating his own company now, isn't
he? Yeah, so. Then obviously Bitmain's trying to go public.
I tell you what I noticed the other day actually, and this is completely separate, but it brought me back to mining. I don't know if you guys know, but the new iPhone, most of you probably know, the new iPhone got announced the other day, and I like to watch all the keynote speech. I'm a bit of a gadget person, so I like my tech, I like my gadgets. I've ordered my new phone already, so I get it day one. I know, it's a bit sad. But anyway, when Apple announced it, they were talking about the chip. And they were like, this is the world's first 7nm chip inside a phone. And I was like, what? Like, no one made a big thing about it. But I was like, that's what Bitmain have been trying to do. But they've failed at it like 2 or 3 times. And now Apple have got it in their iPhones. I think, if Apple are releasing it into a phone, surely, I'm making it sound like it's fucking piss easy to make one, but surely Bitmain are going to be releasing a 7nm chip anytime soon. Therefore, the performance of, say, like an S9 is going to go through the roof, surely.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they can figure out how to do it successfully, which I'm sure they're trying to figure out now, but yeah, I mean, that's the next gen, the next generation of miners will be popping out.
And then everyone will be looking back and saying, 35 million difficulty? God, I wish it was that easy. They'll be looking at 120 million hash rate then, and they'll be thinking, oh my God, look at them moaning about 35 million.
Yeah.
But it seems with this mining game, to actually stay ahead of the curve, like to actually get a return on investment, you have to buy the machines, whatever the one works out the most profitable, day one.
Yeah, I think the most profitable one right now is probably the GMO miner. but they've been out of stock for like the last 5 months. So
yeah, we looked at this before though, and I swear it worked out that it was better to buy two two Bitmain S9s. Because even though they perform... Is this the one that performs like 44 terahash or something like that?
I think so.
The B2 is sold out due to very high demand. We're now accepting GMO miner B3. World's first 7nm mining machine on sale. Sold out.
What I like about these machines is that you can daisy chain them together. It's got those two Ethernet ports on the front.
Oh, well, so you can link one to another one without a network switch.
Yeah, so instead of having like one Ethernet wire going from the machine to your router or your blades there, you could just daisy chain all these together.
Nice. So you got the B2 and the B3. You got the chips. SHA-256. One of them produces 24 terahash, but the B3 is quoting 33 terahash. And it says here, daisy chain up to 32 units max. But their power consumption is 1950 watts to 3,400 watts per machine. Jeez Louise.
Well, check out this company. I just put it in the box. It's called
where have you put it?
I can't pronounce
Discord?
it. Fully Wontot.
Where's this?
Yuntan? It's in the YouTube box. In the YouTube Messenger. The YouTube
oh yeah. Check
the
out
YouTube box. Live chat.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah.
Let's search these. Why? How much are they producing?
That's just brand new. It's a brand new company. Don't worry, you're not going to get some crazy picture come up.
On sale, 130 terahash. Unicorn Titan 2 Bitcoin miner. Jeez. Is that duct tape in the corners? Is it duct tape or is that where it's welded?
It should be welded.
Sold out due to very high demand. We're now accepting orders for Titan 2. Get a Titan 2. Let's see how much they are. Sold out. $2,500. That's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, and it's got 7nm chips in it.
This doesn't, if I'm being completely honest, this doesn't look genuine. So they're saying for 2,500, you would get how much? Was it 120 terahash?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the watts on it? Can you see that on your...
I don't know.
130, 1, 2, 3. I wonder if they've got the specs on it somewhere. Read more. We'll have a hash rate of 110 terahash at its maximum with 3,200 watts. So let's change that. 3, and that was 3,250. Pool fees 1%. Power cost 14. Current difficulty, block reward, blah blah blah. Hardware cost 2.5K. This is saying that you would break even after 171 days. Let's see. It's saying they would mine you pretty much a Bitcoin within 10 months.
That's a long time.
You reckon?
It kind of feels like a long time.
For 2.5K. But then I suppose it depends on how much you spend on electricity. So it's saying that over the whole year you would earn just over £5,000 profitability after you take out electricity costs for this machine. So therefore you're probably better off buying one Bitcoin today, aren't you? At that price.
Yeah. It's just kind of fun looking at what the new miner, what's coming out and what's new and who's trying to do what. Just the tech side of it.
Travis is saying he's going to join in the Discord chat.
Hello. I'm here again.
Hello.
Hello. Who's this?
This is probably our youngest viewer, random gamer dude, I assume.
Yep.
How you doing, boy? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Good, good, good. How much Bitcoin have you accumulated?
0.0018.
0.0018. Yeah, not too bad. So you got what, about $100 worth? $120? No. Is that $80 worth?
No, 0.11 or 0.0018 would be more like $20 maybe. I don't know off the top of my head.
Well,
probably like $50.
Let's hope that $20 pays off one day. Yeah, so I'm not too sure. I'm not too convinced about this, John. This Unicorn Titan 1.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, though, isn't it? It's a unicorn, right?
It's a unicorn.
Hey, a random gamer dude. What got you into Bitcoin?
Well, I just heard about it on YouTube, and I started watching more videos about it, and it was really interesting. It sounded really cool.
Are your parents into Bitcoin?
No.
No, so you struck out on your own. How old are you?
11.
Hey, I commend you. Thank you, because you are the future of Bitcoin. And I think that's cool that you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you mining through GPU or something? Is that how you accumulated Bitcoin?
No, I got my mom to buy me some.
Get out of here, really? You're cool, man. That's awesome.
Well, hello, PJ. Thanks for saying hello. Jesus.
Hi, Glenn.
We were talking about you at the beginning of the video, but you weren't there. Where were you?
I was at Chuck E. Cheese with my kids.
Nice. Do you have a nice meal?
Oh, yeah. It was good times.
What'd you get me?
Playing the video games and whatnot.
We were discussing, obviously, your... I was saying to John that, obviously, you said in the group chat about pro-hashing being an unprofitable way to mine.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you posted that, and then you posted what you done, obviously, I'm not going to disclose that on the video, but obviously, I was taking it as you were saying that the 5% was a too high a fee to pay, and I was just looking at that. So I was looking at your how much you had versus how much fee you ended, how much you ended up with US dollar terms, and it worked out about 5%. So that's why I said to you, yes, about the same. But then obviously you said, no, Glenn, I'm mining more Bitcoin than you. So then that made me think, oh yeah, why am I not mining as much Bitcoin as PJ?
Well, because I was explaining to John and them over, we were talking about it. It's if you're sitting on one pool and you're mining that one coin, you're going to get more of that coin because the difficulty goes up and down all day. So you're not at a fixed rate. And with that, I think with ProHash, the way that they're converting it, you're losing more money because it's like, okay, I'm making about, I think it was $156 on the first week or something like that. So I was getting more of a reward, and then when I converted it, it was converting over to 151 US dollars, which came out to 0.2 something of a Bitcoin. So I was getting more Bitcoin than what you were, but you said that you were solo mining for a day or 24 hours.
Yeah, it was about a day and a half in total.
Yeah,
I still think
Glenn and I jumped in together and tried to combine our hash rate to find a block for like almost 24 hours, and we didn't find one. But
hey, you know what? I just started selling. I just sold 2 of these Z9 minis to a guy up in New York, and it sounds like what people are starting to do is starting to buy up these Z9 minis and create farms instead of mining Bitcoin, because the payout is higher than Bitcoin, and these little machines are more effective to use instead of Bitcoin, or instead of mining like with the S9. So people are selling off a lot of the S9s to buy the minis to start mining for Bitcoin.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, because literally this guy, he says, oh yeah, hey, I got 48 of these machines going, and he just got rid of like 30
oh
S9.
my gosh.
Yeah, so, and he's just buying them all up off of eBay, and he's beating them everybody out because he's not paying customs, he's not paying sales tax, none of that shit. So he's getting all those machines. He's averaging them at like $900 a machine. So 900, I think he's saying 900, $1,000 a machine. So he's killing it. You know what I mean? And he's not wasting his time with the S9, because not only is the electricity a third of the cost, but the machines themselves, you know, are a little bit more costly, but they're producing a hell of a lot more Bitcoin than the S9s are.
Yeah, I mean, we were just discussing that actually, because, you know,
I know that's what
I was saying to John, like, you know, we're sitting here moaning about, oh, they're only, you know, profitable of $10 a day or something, whereas you look at the S9, that's been negative $1 worth of Bitcoin, you know, every day for quite a while.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to get rid of your S9s, buy the Z9, and just mine Bitcoin with that, or like Equihash, but then
a lot of people are doing that, is what I'm gathering. I mean, I'm talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people are doing that. They're just dumping these machines and going right after the... it takes something like $1.3 billion in order to mine Bitcoin to be profitable. To actually set up a mining farm, it's about $1.3 billion to start mining Bitcoin to make a significant profit. So unless you got that much money, I don't think it's worth mining Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, I'd have to crack open the piggy bank, wouldn't I?
Just a little bit. Or find some people to invest.
Until until Bitmain releases the next generation of miners.
I think Bitmain's completely going to be screwed here, because their IPO was a failure. They're lacking money. So they're really in a bad position right now, and I don't think that they're going to be releasing a 7mm chip or a 7nm chip anytime soon. I just don't think they got rid of their main chip producer, so now they're kind of behind the curve. And their main producer of the chip, the actual guy who's developing the chips, he started his own business. So they're kind of a wrecked company right now.
Yeah, it does seem that way. Which I don't know. On one side, that would be a shame, because they've done so well producing really like profitable machines.
Just keep it real, Glenn. I hope they die. I hope
but on the flip side, I was about to say, on the flip side,
because then that hash rate will go down, and then we're right back to square one.
A lot of people say, "Oh, actually, Bitcoin's really centralized," because you look at Bitmain. But you know, if they were to go down, then that argument would be null and void. That'd be who's going to then say, oh yeah, but Bitcoin's being stored by, you know, and they'd have to name someone else.
Look what Bitmain just did. They just sold all their Bitcoin and turned it into Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah. Bitcoin Cash. Ew, disgusting.
Just get more and more.
Did you guys see the crypto cruise? And they had that debate between Roger Ver and Jimmy Song.
Hey, random gamer dude, post your Bitcoin address in this Discord on this chat. You know how to do that?
I know how to do that, but I would feel kind of bad taking Bitcoin.
Well, what do you like?
I mean, I would just feel bad taking cryptocurrency.
No, hey, look, man, it's okay. Come on, we're all rich here. We got plenty of money.
Okay, I'll do that.
We're not poor. None of us in this chat. Or trust me, don't feel bad about taking it.
I have some.
Is that Travis trying to chime in?
I think that's
he's way out.
I think that's Travis attempting to communicate with us from the other side.
Travis always sounds like he's on another planet trying to communicate with us.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Hey.
I think Travis might be Elon Musk.
It's because I'm using the internet. I wanted to ask a random gamer a couple questions. How long have you been into Bitcoin?
Well, since 2016. Sadly, I didn't have any in 2016, but I was interested in it.
And what were you? And you found it on YouTube. What were you watching on YouTube a lot before you saw Bitcoin?
Programming stuff, and Bitcoin kept coming up.
Okay, I'm just wondering what. So a lot of 11-year-olds aren't really searching programming stuff. Are you interested in programming?
I don't program a lot anymore. It's really hard. So I know a few programming languages though.
Well, I mean that's pretty good considering that you're 11. I think you're ahead of the curve. But I was just curious, what 11-year-old is watching on YouTube for YouTube to send them crypto advertisements? I'm just wondering because I wish they would do it more. But it's kind of searching for
Travis has just gone full Stephen Hawkins on us.
That was a good one.
No, I just got a emergency severe alert. I don't know. Severe alert. They just come in.
Would you like to play a game?
Would you like to play a game?
Out now.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is
Poor Travis.
Well, it's a storm. There's a storm here, man.
Travis,
we all know you're a cyborg.
Yeah.
That's a good job you don't have there, the frying pan.
Oh, who's that?
It's my phone keeps. I'm using my phone. I get these texts talking about.
Hey Glenn, I'm gonna do some charity mining to your account there for a few minutes.
Oh, cheers, mate. It's nice.
I guess I'll hop out. The weather's too bad here.
Whoever was asking for my Bitcoin address, I put it in the Discord chat.
Sweet.
So we got Zaya
Let's give everybody him a Bitcoin.
We'll send him one.
If you gave me like one Bitcoin, I would probably like freaking cry. But yeah. go ahead, give me $1 billion Bitcoin.
If you get a Bitcoin, you have to start your own channel.
Okay.
I love the way that he went from. He started off really gracefully. He said, "No, guys, you don't have to donate anything to me. I feel really bad." And he was like, "Actually, just give me 1 billion Bitcoin."
Yeah.
There was no in between.
1 billion Bitcoin. What's the
You know, if every millionaire in the world wanted 1 Bitcoin, they couldn't, because there are more millionaires in the world than there are going to be Bitcoin. So that's true.
That is true, and the millionaires that get clued onto it, they're going to own more than one, aren't they?
So, random gamer dude, you're obviously on Twitter too and following Charlie Lee, right?
Yeah.
See, this kid's smart, man. Gotta get him while they're young.
He's ahead. He's ahead of the curve.
A random gamer dude, you gotta stay focused on programming, and you gotta start learning Python and C++ and Java.
I know a little bit of Python. That's one of the programming languages.
That's how you scale Bitcoin. You're the future, man. Check your wallet and tell me what you received.
Okay.
Let's catch up with the guys in the live chat, because I don't want to forget about them. So River J says, how much do you make a week? I'll get onto that in a second, River. Zaya says, I mined 0.16 Bitcoin in 10 days on Flyball. How's your thoughts? Is that from one machine or is that from two? I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Crypto North said, oh my god, the comms are from Mars. Crypto Cali said,
0.0023 Bitcoin is how much you sent me. 0.0023.
Well, that was quick, wasn't it?
You must be using Exodus wallet.
Mm-hmm.
You are?
Yep.
I figured. Okay.
You're on top of it. Yeah.
Because they're both on the BIP 173, so I figured it'd take that long. Either Coinbase or Exodus if it goes that quick.
So you're just holding the Bitcoin in Exodus wallet, a random gamer?
Yeah.
That's good. It's secure. You'll be all right with it. Exodus is a good wallet.
Exodus is the best wallet.
It hasn't been hacked. Well, I don't know if it's been hacked, but it wasn't ever hacked.
You're never going to get hacked in Exodus. You're okay.
Nice.
So Zaya said that they're getting 0.016 from 1Z9 Mini mining Flyball. And in 10 days, which is about the same time as what I've mined, yeah, that is very good because you've mined more Bitcoin than me. So maybe you and PJ are onto something here. Maybe I should be mining with Flyball and just stick to one algorithm. PJ, you said, I'd be interested to hear, are you mining just Zcash and then waiting for a day where it's up against Bitcoin and then converting it? Or do you do it on a daily, weekly basis? How do you do that?
Then I'm holding all that Zcash. I'm not getting rid of it. Because I believe in Zcash more than anything else to double anytime soon. So I just hold it. I think that that Zcash project is a better project than 90% of other projects out there, so I just hold it all.
Yeah, I was saying that out of the Equihash algorithm, there isn't anything
There's
else.
not a single good coin.
No,
there's no coin.
Zcash is the only one that you can hope for, really.
Look how many people are trying to use ZK Starks over everything else. You know what I mean? So, like, now they don't use Z Wallet to hide anything, but I think at the end of the day, the only thing I'm waiting for is Coinbase to add them. And I think once they announce, then I'll start selling. Because that'll drive that price up a little bit.
That's if they sell it.
Oh no, they're going to. I mean, you gotta have an understanding of. If you don't have an understanding of this game by now, why they would add it, then there's no point to keep playing this game. I mean, they're going to add it because if you look at all the futures that are built behind that, like, okay, Gemini's added it, everybody else has added it, so it make more sense for them to add it. Plus of all, it's easier in the United States to add that Zcash to an exchange than it is any other coin. So they'll add it eventually, you know.
There's some good insight there. Crypto Cali said, I wish I could get miners, but my electricity is so damn high. I was thinking about starting a phone farm. I don't know about that.
Maybe with all those 7-nanometer chips in those new iPhones, yeah.
Yeah, with 1,000. How much of the new iPhone?
I think.
Well, the one I've just ordered comes to £1,500.
Yeah, I don't think that a lot of. I mean, that's going to put a huge demand on chips and RAM and all of that when these new phones start coming out. I mean, it's probably not going to be a while until they come up with something new. Because even like, okay, NVIDIA just released their 2080 Ti's and their 2080s, and it's like I have a feeling that it's going to be a while before we see any type of new anything in the market.
I've seen a lot of FUD with the NVIDIA. Bitglen is bullshit.
Travis, you might want to try to type something. You're breaking up so bad, I don't think anybody can hear you.
It's the weather. I mean, can you hear me at all?
There you know.
No.
Only bits
Hey,
here.
Russell. What's going on, Russell?
I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to fit this one out.
Getting gas.
Zia says, I'm going now, guys. Good night. Thanks for joining, and don't forget to give this video a like. Thanks for joining the live chat. Fred joins in. Fred, where have you been? He says, yo, a little late. Crypto Cali said, Exodus is fire. I reckon Exodus is the best crypto wallet that you can have out there. Just waiting for the day where they're on iOS.
What happened there?
Yeah, Glenn, the Exodus wallet's coming to iOS, and it's going to come out to put on your phone, mobile app.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a while, though, haven't they? They keep saying it's on their roadmap.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get it. I mean, they should have it shortly. Within the next year, probably.
Has it linked the Exodus to the actual blockchain IO? Like, because you can do that. It's really not worth it anymore with Stagger Direct. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of back static.
It's the weather. It's got to be the weather. I'm sorry.
Oh. How have you been?
Thank you so much for the Bitcoin. I can't thank you enough.
You don't need to thank me, man. I just keep programming. That's all that you got to do.
All right.
Make a future out of it.
Mhm.
Your life, man. Make a life out of it.
I just think it's cool that he's into it. You know, I think that's awesome. That's at such a young age to hear that 11-year-old is out there aware of a Bitcoin and actually knows how to use it to receive it. That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you guys would think this is funny. So I was talking about Bitcoin at school, and this kid goes up to me. He's like, "Yeah, that big bucks thing you were talking about, it's a scam because you can't use it anymore."
Yeah, it's fine. You know what? More people will adapt it. My kids are 3 and 2, and I've already got them knowing what Bitcoin is, and eventually it'll become more popular. You know.
Oh, you're
going on.
My kids are going to learn coding, the whole 9 yards, man. I hope they're going to be wise to the whole Bitcoin game.
Yeah.
It's the future.
I've got no chance of learning programming. I can barely string an English sentence together, let alone code. So, oddly enough, though, I did actually try a bit of game design, a bit of programming on the PlayStation 2. I think it was. There was in the operating system. You could code directly through that, and I bought a keyboard and I sat there and I actually made an intro and a start to a role-playing game, like a text-based role-playing game, and it was so hard. Like, it took so long just to get. I got this circle to come up in the middle of the screen. That took me weeks.
Look, they got a game on the iPhone that you can play. It's like a game and it teaches you how to program a little bit. And it's like you make this character move and walk, and it's super easy. It just gives you like all the essentials, you know, of how to program. It's kind of neat. But it's like programming for dummies, you know.
Yeah.
So does Ethereum. There's actually on the Ethereum blockchain, there's a program that Vitalik Buterin, whatever, they made a little program that's like that too to teach people. It's like a game format on how to code. I forget what the website is, but I got to look it up. But it was kind of cool because it's real simplistic and it teaches people in the simplest of form how to program.
Yeah, that's cool. The more people that can get into the space, more creativity, more ideas, design, it can only help the space, can't it?
Well, I mean, there's a lack of developers on it, you know, so I don't think there's a lack of, I should say. It's just it's a good field. I was watching something the other day on Twitter that somebody posted. It was pretty cool because it was somebody talking about the effects of like the internet and .com and how everybody was against it at first. And now we look at like the iPhone he was saying, he's like, the iPhone was just this tiny, or not the iPhone, but smartphones was a tiny computer that everybody was like, what the hell is this thing? That's crazy. We can't put a spreadsheet on it. It's just stupid. And now you look at it and it's like your cell phone or your smartphone is one of the main piece of technology that's attached to your life. And it's like the main, what do you call that? Like computer in your life, you know? So he was comparing it to like saying the technology that's there now might be crap, but eventually we're going to push all this junk away and have something that's brilliant, you know? So it takes people to keep interested in it and to keep developing it in order for it to get somewhere. So I thought it was kind of cool what they were talking about. I seen it on Twitter, this guy going over that. It was just neat to me, you know?
Yeah, I think mobile phones, or smartphones in particular, are probably the catalyst of cryptocurrency, really, because we're so wired to our phone device day in, day out, and obviously we use our phone to surf the web. But actually, to make a payment online, it's still a process of you have to get someone else's bank details, go into your app, into your banking app, and then obviously put their details in, create an account. You normally have to verify it, and then you send the money, and sometimes that takes 2 to 3 days. So it's quite a lengthy process, whereas obviously what you just done with Gamer Dude there, that took 20 seconds, you know, so...
yeah. I sent him $15 in like 2-3 seconds. Done. You know,
that's not possible with banking. That's the beauty of Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Glenn, did you watch that Joe Rogan and Elon Musk interview?
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Wasn't that crazy though? Did that get you thinking? Where he was like talking about we're cyborgs and all that. I thought it was just fascinating the way that he put that spin on it. Like, yeah, we are cyborgs. Because the extension of your cell phone. I mean, I've never thought about it like that or even looked at it like that, but I think he's correct. You know, it's like, it's kind of scary what they were talking about with the whole AI, artificial intelligence. I thought that was kind of crazy too, like how evolved it's getting and how it's affecting our lives, you know. I was like, man, that is kind of scary to sit down and think about it. You know,
I felt a bit, after I watched that interview, I sort of felt sorry for him, even though he's like a multi-millionaire and he's a really clever guy and all that. When he talks about how he copes with what's going on in his brain, you sense like a dark side to him. He's like, it's like an explosion that never ends. Like, and he's like, they were saying, oh, you should go in an isolation chamber so you can get away from everything. And he was like, whoa, that sounds like my worst nightmare, because I'll just sit there and, you know, overthink things in silence.
You guys, sorry to interrupt you, but you ever guys remember a film, very obscure, it featured David Bowie, and it was about in the 60s.
I can barely hear you, Russell.
Sorry, or maybe I need to turn the mic up. Sorry, anyway, hello everybody.
Hello.
Hold on a second. Do you ever remember a film called The Man Who Fell to Earth?
No.
Filmed by David Bowie. You want to go check it out, but basically this guy, he just sort of fell into this lake, and he was like all seeing, speaking, you know, it's like he understood everything, you know. But he lived an odd existence, and the whole of his life he dedicated, from like once he landed on Earth and everything, dedicated to try and get back home to his family. It's what he dreamt about, you know. But anyway, I'm just saying to you now that, you know, like way technology is now, you know, that we are really becoming like, how can I put it?
Dependent upon technology?
Yeah, we really do. Yeah, it sucks, man, you know?
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I still teach a SEER course every month, so you guys can join on that if you want to. You know, survival skills.
Oh, survival skills, I'll tell you, you know something, people are so... But it's true. People, you know, like they don't realize, you know, just what this is. You know, I mean, because I mean, you know, technically, right, crypto is going to be around, whichever form it is going to be in. It's always going to be there. You know, but aside from that, I mean, it's like what you were saying before about us all sort of being somehow disconnected in some way. Connected, but disconnected, if you like. And you know, it's going to feature a lot in the future. You know, when obviously you know there's more expansion, you know, the population increases. You know.
Can you hear me now? I sound good, or
you sound a lot better?
Yeah. All right.
I just feel bad for Elon Musk. I was like, Jesus, man, this dude is just trying to help the world, but yet so many people down him, and it's like,
it's like asking questions like, what if there was 1,000 Elon Musks? Well, there probably is. You know, they just haven't emerged yet. If you know what I mean.
It seems like. Can you hear me? I just want to say, like, it seems like he has these dreams, like almost like the real Tesla, and the guys with all the money, the stock market and all, him going public with it, which is why he wants to go private, I think, again, is screwing those dreams up. They're really the money is what chopping them down. Like
the barrier.
I just thought it was crazy because the guy was just like, "Hey, look, I'm sick of traffic in LA. I want to build these tunnels and create all this stuff just to make life easier for people in LA."
I used to live out there. It is ridiculous.
I thought that was great. I was like, dude, if more people were generous like that and actually just did something like that, how much better of a world would we have? You know?
Yeah. And it's just out of pure problem solving, not to like make a bunch of money off of it, but that's what like some of these people are looking at it as, you know?
Yeah, and it's like this guy, I'm sure, cares less about the money because he's made billions. So it's like,
I was thinking about it, and I'm like, at the gas station, I was thinking, if we never went oil and we went electric right from the get-go, how different the world would really be. I mean, minus all the oil spills, but you also minus the gas station, minus like
eons ahead of what we needed to be. You know?
Yeah,
we've been set back.
Really, I mean, our dependency on fossil fuels is just crippling us, and it's like we're too stupid and ignorant to realize that. You know, I think.
Well, they're trying to make too much money. They're trying to. It's like they're trying to make as much money as they can off of it.
Yeah, trying to boost more out of something. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's all that life comes down to. Everybody's in it to make $1 for something. You know, at the end of the day.
Katana says, the scary thing I took away from that Elon Musk Joe Rogan interview is how he was saying we have not allowed algorithm, which is by extension a form of artificial intelligence, to make decisions for us. Or sorry, we have allowed.
Yeah. I mean, the dude's correct. That is scary because it's like, look at Facebook, can predict what you're thinking through all their algorithms that they're running on you. You know, and it's crazy.
Those algorithms, they're created by us too, by data that we feed them, and a lot of it is negative data. Like Trump thinks that he's only being negative stuff only comes up. Negative stuff comes up on everybody when you look,
and of course
the algorithms pull that up first.
You know, something that was.
I think we just need better data privacy, man. I think where we're at in the world is so messed up. Because of like how we just give these corporations our data, you know, and it's like we're just feeding it to them, and then they're able to take it and use it against us, which is horrible, you know.
Well, it's institutions like Rockwell. We'll just start with them. All right. But look at the mess they left behind.
Yeah, look at and everybody else and shit. Now, Facebook is horrible. I think, you know what I mean. Like, I think Facebook is becoming horrible too with everything that they're trying to do also. It's like, it's just becoming like a propaganda machine, you know, or not even, I should say a propaganda machine. It's becoming one of those like just a machine that's filled for political views and censorship. And it's like these platforms are completely becoming shit. I mean, I still use Facebook and Twitter because it's only real outlets to communicate, but at the same time, I'm cautious on what I'm putting out there, you know. And it's like, I don't believe in what they're doing by any means.
Someone posted on Twitter actually saying people complain so much about data, you know, like collecting data on us through social media. But on the other hand, they would so quickly, if it's to transfer money, fill out a KYC form for something online. And I thought that's so true, isn't it? We're worried about Facebook knowing what adverts I'm watching, but then if someone asks me for my passport, you're like, yeah, here you go, here's a picture of it.
Yeah, I'm not doing any KYC from now on. I'm not doing a single.
I haven't even done mine for.
I don't give a shit who asked for it. I'm not filling out any process. Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and stick with what I need to. I'm not.
Bitmain have been, every time I go onto Bitmain, they seem to ask me for my KYC, and from what I can understand is every time I've followed through with a KYC process, that company has then ceased to exist. So I'm just very wary of any KYC process.
Hashflare was the last one I did that KYC for, and I thought that was because I was going to get my 0.0019 Bitcoin out of them, and I still ain't got that shit from them.
What, from Hashflare?
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't either. I'm about ready to withdraw from Ethereum. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna use it as like all of a sudden when something comes down on them, they're gonna have everyone's data and they're gonna like make.
Well, they're gonna pull the same shit
as a way out.
Once the United States government starts going after all these people, they're just gonna turn your information over. You know, same shit they did to those people that the cease and desist or whatever it was that the United States government went after Coinbase for. So
I put about $300 in there. I got about 100 back. I don't know if it's worth it to give them to get another 0.1 Ethereum, which is
don't do it.
$20-something dollars. And I think I got one more before my contract runs out, probably.
I'm telling you, it's a trick, man. Because they want to know how much Bitcoin you have. That's all it comes down to. It's like the governments want to know.
Yeah.
That's all it's coming to. Is just.
I mean, they already have my address and stuff. They just don't. Because they want your address. You know that, right? Remember?
Well, what the hell they want my address for? To come rob me?
I don't know, but they do. You have to fill. Initially, you did have to fill out your address on Hashflare.
Did you?
Yeah. If you look at your profile. If you go in Hashflare and look at your profile, you'll see your address.
I haven't been on Hashflare.
No, I haven't checked my Hashflare for ages.
Well, if you don't have any contracts besides Bitcoin, then you're not. There's no
point. I still got.
I have Ethereum contracts and Dash. I have a contract with all of them, but the other one, Ethereum's the only one worth it. I bought a whole bunch of Dash when it was on sale in Halloween last year. And then it disappeared after it. And I was like, why the fuck did I just buy all that? And like now I can't upgrade it because it was like a penny a day.
Yeah.
So I mean I got like 0.00 something Dash.
I think that's by far the worst scam I invested into was Hashflare. They got me. They got me good.
Yeah, they got everybody good.
Investing in Hashflare. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, just don't mind. Go buy that Bitcoin, man. That was the Hashflare.
Your best. I mean, if you had, let's say you had $1,000 to invest in any form of cryptocurrency, your best form would just be to buy the straight up coin instead of any kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson with cloud mining. I've been scammed so many times. I was going and I was like, ooh, starbtc.co, double my money in a month? Wow, I'm going to invest.
Yeah.
And then exit scammed like a week later, so that was fun.
Just don't send your money to people asking for ETH on Twitter.
Yeah. I think for me, actually, Hashflare, I can take Hashflare because even if I bought an S9 at the time, I'd probably be in the same boat as if I was in Hashflare. But the one that really stings is Embian.
Hey, Glenn, are your machines, are your Z9 minis there?
Sorry?
Are your Z9 minis on eBay right now?
Yeah.
Are you getting hits? Like, are people putting up offers?
Yeah, so someone's offered me £2,000 for both of them with the 2 power supply units. So that's £1,000 each, which in dollars is about $1,400.
So you're going to take it?
I actually put them up for $1,250. I thought at that price I'd be willing to sell them.
I started offering them because I think once you get your once those Z9s hit, I don't think that they're going to be really that profitable.
Yeah,
I started off.
I had a long.
John, what are you doing with yours? Are you just keeping yours? Are you trying to sell yours?
Who?
John.
Oh man, everything is for sale. You want something?
He sounds like a meth dealer. He's like, "Hey man, I've got this weed, man. I've got this crystal."
I think I've got 15 machines. You want to buy one? I'll sell you one.
Can I have a 30-day trial?
Nah, man.
Actually, this guy I just sold these 2 machines to, he emailed me through eBay, and then I just contacted him directly and was like, "Hey, dude, I'm listing off of eBay, and I want to sell them, through something else because eBay was trying to charge a fee or whatever." So I was able to get this guy to just PayPal me the money without having to use eBay. So it's like
Wow, you took a risk.
try to contact the people going directly. Because eBay, man, they take a percentage. I think it's like 10% if you sell.
Yeah, it's 10%, dude. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, so I was like, that's horse shit, because that's a lot of money.
Would you sell them? Would you sell them for cryptocurrency?
Fuck yeah. I'll get rid of them for Bitcoin any day.
I wonder
so
if you could
in
sell them.
In my description for the items that I'm selling, I put in the description I'm willing to accept Bitcoin, because then obviously you save 10% on the eBay fees. But then I suppose that's more of a risk if I don't post them for the person doing it. But yeah, I've had 78 views on them, and I've got 4 watchers. I've had 2 or 3 messages for them.
You know what I do, Glenn? Is I'll email the people, and then I'll communicate with them, get more direct and personal with them, like share some information like my Facebook or something like that.
I put them on because actually you were right, PJ. They are generally, this is in pounds, obviously not dollars. Generally, they're going for about £900. Yeah. So I thought if I put them in at $12.50, there's only 2 things that can happen. 1, they don't sell at all, which I don't mind. I'm still mining. 2, they do sell, and I'm quitting. So that's why I put them on at that price. But I had a long conversation with someone, and even my wife and my friend, I spoke to them and I told them the risks, because I don't think it matters too much how much Bitcoin goes down in price. It's all about the difficulty. If the difficulty keeps going up, you're going to mine less BTC a day. So I don't really care about the, if it says, oh, you're only mining $1 profit a day, but I'm still mining 0.01 of a Bitcoin or whatever, then I'm happy with that. Do you know what I mean? So
no, I understand that completely, but the difficulty went from a month ago in June, July, August. What was it? June, it was at like 9 million. Now it's up to 30 million, and that's on Zcash. I don't know what it is on the other ones. And that is even with those Z9s coming online yet. So it's like, I'm afraid that once those Z9s come online, that shit's going to be at like 60 million.
I was saying to John just before you joined, though, the Z9s actually through the Bitmain website, obviously we don't know figures of how many they've sold, but a lot of people were saying, well, there's no point getting the Z9, you might as well get the 4 Z9 minis for the same price. And I think that's what a lot of people did, because they were selling out all the time, weren't they? The Z9 I never saw, from what I can remember, I never saw it sell out, and it reduced in price while they were still manufacturing it. So I don't think they've been as popular as the Z9 minis.
Yeah, but you gotta understand is that what is that A9 Master or whatever by Inner Silicon, that's coming out.
Yeah.
Then you got those Z9s coming out. I think once we start, like once you get your, when everybody else will start getting them, and I think that's when the difficulty is going to go up even higher. I mean, because you got to look at it like, okay, that's 4 of them little Z9 minis in the machine. And how many people got 2 or 3 of those machines coming, It's like I was talking to that guy up in New York, and he's like, oh, yeah, I got 48 of these little, these little Z9 minis. And he's like, I'm just waiting for these Z9s to come in. And I didn't even ask him how many Z9s he's got coming. I'm sure he's got quite a bit, you know what I mean? So I think it's going to be interesting to see the next month. I think that difficulty is going to shoot through the roof.
Yeah,
and then it's like, What do you hope for? You hope that other coins start pushing up, like ZCL? Do you start mining those? Do you mine Bitcoin private? What do? You know?
Yeah.
Because it's going to become a game real quick of. It's like you said, if you didn't get on them with the first batch. Now, if you had a first batch, you know, you probably would be breaking even right now, or close to breaking even. But I think the second batch of these Z9 minis, you're never going to ROI them. You know?
So this was this was the conversation I had. Okay, so if I was to sell them for say £2,000, so if I do 2,000 British pounds to BTC, I would accumulate today 0.4 of a Bitcoin. Yeah, so if I was to look back, and I've kept track of everything I've spent in crypto, in mining. I've actually spent £1,889, which at the time that I bought Bitcoin, it was about the same sort of price it is now.
Yeah, 6,000 to 6,500, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 0.37 Bitcoin. So I would actually be up from this whole venture. I would be up from the whole thing. So I thought, right, I better sell them now. That's how I was thinking the other day. But then, you know, I had a chat with someone and they said, well, Glenn, when you've got that 0.4, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'll just store it. And they were like, yeah, but you want to accumulate more. So how are you going to, what's your next step? How are you going to accumulate more?
Just buy it every 2 weeks or whenever you get paid.
just buy it once a month. So
yeah, exactly.
I started thinking, and I was looking at, someone was doing a video about, even though Bitcoin mining, so actually SHA-256, it's been so unprofitable for quite a while now. It's been unprofitable for, you know, you're talking what, 8 months, 9 months? The difficulty is still increasing. There's still more hashing power going into the system. So they were saying, you know, who's putting in all this extra power even though it's so unprofitable? And I believe that's because people are looking at, you know, if you go to Coin Wars, it says on there, like, you know, your profitability.
No, people like Mike Novovitz are setting up, you know, millions and millions of dollars. Jeez.
Sorry, you cut out then. What'd you say, PJ?
I said, if you look at the whole system, it's like people like Mike Novovitz or whatever his name is. He's setting up a Bitcoin mining facility also. Like, there's people out there who are putting $100 million into mining Bitcoin because they have the money to set up a huge operation. You know, so that's why the difficulty keeps going up, is because there's people out there that are willing to spend $100 million to mine out all this Bitcoin. You know, because they got enough money to buy up enough machines to make it profitable.
So I was looking at this the other day, actually, and there was an article that I was reading that had a chart. Probably not going to be able to find it now, but it basically, I don't know if, because I shared it with John. John, I don't know if you've still got that image that I sent you. And it showed you how much it cost to mine Bitcoin as of May 2018. So a few months ago, but relatively, you know, recent. And that was stating that in most places it was about $6,000, $7,000. But in places like Venezuela, it worked out $350 to mine one whole Bitcoin.
See,
I was like, I need to get my plane ticket, boy. I need to get to Venezuela.
Yeah, because like, you know, if you had somebody definitely capitalize on it, but it's like, how do you, you know, now realistically,
I need to get a long extension cord.
yeah, you know, realistically, me and you, we're not, unless we got some like alternative energy or something like that hooked to our homes, we're not going to be able to compete with that, you know. So we're going to be stuck at paying the $6,000 price to mine a Bitcoin as compared to these other countries, you know.
But someone made a good point.
Yeah, I put that article in the Discord box.
Let's have a little look.
Here it is. Here's how much it costs to mine a single Bitcoin.
So this is the, I'll see if I can zoom in here. I think that's the most I can go. But this is the list of how much it costs to mine one Bitcoin. So going down this list, in the UK, it says $8,400. In the United States, it says it's $4,700. But yeah, this one's the killer. Venezuela. Sorry, I was a bit wrong. It's $531.
Still, even at $4,000, is that electricity cost?
So
I think that's what they're saying, yeah.
Or is that the hardware cost? Because how many damn S9s do you have to mine a whole Bitcoin? You know what I'm saying? Shit, you're going to be paying with 13 terahash. You know, each machine is what, 13 to 20. We could say 23 terahash. How many of those machines are you going to have to buy? You're going to have to buy what, 100 grand in machines?
So it says here that the Elite Fixtures report looked at the costs to mine a single Bitcoin in 115 different countries based on an average electricity rate according to the local government data, utility company reports, and information from Paris, France-based International Energy Agency and the US Energy Information Administration.
So that's only the energy cost. That is not how much it costs to mine a Bitcoin, because then you got to take an account of all the hardware that you have to buy in order to mine Bitcoin.
Well, the electricity cost is in USD, right? Because Venezuelan dollars is not worth anything, pretty much.
Well, actually, that is what you're very clever there, Gamer Dude, because the reason they said Venezuela one was so low is because if you compare how much it cost you in Venezuela money versus US dollars, that's how much it would work out. So you're bang on the money there. So yeah, it's just a guideline, I suppose, but you know.
Yeah, but then you need another $10,000 in equipment to mine that one Bitcoin. You know, so it's a no-win game. You're better off to just spend your $14,000 or whatever and buy a couple of Bitcoin and call it good.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So, you know,
I think what it is we all have these dreams of like these machines are going to do this and do that, and if we accumulate them. I got caught in this, and I got caught bad because when we first started talking about the Z9s, I got so fixated on this price and what it was at that I didn't even take into account that the difficulty was going to go to 30 million on Zcash. I was like, there's no way. When I did my pricing for all this, I based it off of Zcash only hitting like 19 million to 22 million. I never thought it was going to hit 30 million so quick. And now it's like, dude, these machines, the ROI even, okay, if you look at the simplicity of it and look at a Z9, one Z9 to ROI it is going to take you about 8 months, 5 to 8 months to ROI it. Yeah. So it's like, and then as it goes along, the difficulty is going to keep rising. There is no way Zcash or any of these other coins are going to go down in difficulty. They're just, Bitmain keep pumping these machines, and they're going to keep pumping them, and people are going to keep buying them. People are going to keep buying the minis. Those machines are never going to be profitable. That's why I'm like, hey, look, I got to start offing these things because, man, that difficulty rise was just so quick and so intense. We went from $44 a day on 2 machines when we watched it with John running 16,000 souls. And then now it's like, even with John, we went over these machines, and the best I could peg these machines at is like 15,000 souls is what I'm averaging. And it's like on 2 machines at 15,000 souls, you're only making like, what, $18 a day, if not even that. Yeah. So it's just a no-win game. You're never going to win at this game. And I think that we keep fixating in our head like, oh, well, one day it's going to pay out. Man, this shit's never going to pay out because that difficulty is going to keep up, and then your daily balance is just going to keep going down, and you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. So it's not worth it. It depends. To me, it's not.
I think because the electricity costs on these are so low, because I was talking to, I probably shouldn't disclose, I was chatting to someone, and they were saying, well, actually, I had a load of $250 off Bitmain coupon, which they use to buy the Z9s. They are mining, you know, quite a few of them, and for them to accumulate one whole Bitcoin would take, I think we worked it out to be about 3 to 4 months. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, you know, compared to what you actually paid for them. So in that respect, I said, well, you wouldn't sell them, would you? Because there's a small chance in 3 months' time you're going to have one whole Bitcoin, but then you're going to continue to mine after that date. So you've made your money back, and
Wait a minute. Let's back up.
For me, I paid full price for the machine. I didn't get any discount because those coupons run out in Beijing time. The price of Bitcoin dropped, or something like that.
Glenn, was that the first machine? Are you saying is that batch 1?
batch, what, the person who was looking to return on him? Or
yeah, in 3 months. Was that somebody that bought batch 1 Z9 Mini?
Well, he was saying that obviously, you know, when they were $850,
yeah,
he obviously got them for $600.
Yeah.
And so therefore, obviously, his return investment is already a third less than mine, which mine
That's
is
complete bullshit because, first of all, even if you got them at $600, you got your machine back September, August, what was it, 27th? So that was the earliest people were getting them, was the 24th to the 27th. That difficulty spiked and you weren't making that much money. So I'm going to call horse shit on that completely. And I think it's all bullshit because at the end of the day, even if you were mining from August till now, you're not making over $400 right now on the month. So I don't give a shit what anybody's saying. Common dollars to cents, you're not ROI in 3 months.
No.
Like, you're going to be sitting there. No, the numbers don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no fucking way you're ROI in 300 or in 3 months on. And whoever that person was, please debate that because I will love to see your figures because I'm going to call horseshit on that one.
So are you saying then, PJ, you're going to try and sell all of your Z9s? Are you going to keep any back?
No, I'm offering them all. They're non-profitable. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing money sitting here hoping and praying because if that difficulty goes up, let's just say it doubles again. That difficulty went from 15 million to 30 million in less than a month. And when these new Z9s hit, who knows where that fucking difficulty is going to be. So you need to start calculating, taking a calculation of, okay, that Z9, what you need to do is when you go on what to mine and whatever you're looking, whatever you're going to use, put the difficulty at like 60 million and then see what the return on your money is, you know? And then go from
that's a good idea, actually, PJ.
Let's do that now together then. So let's go over to, we're going to go down to Zcash we're picking on.
These things were profitable when the difficulty was at 15 million. You were returning in 3 months. The difficulty is now at 30 million and you're returning in 5 months on one of the machines.
So
too, right?
And that's if you're running at all the time. You're running at like 14,000 souls, 14 to 15,000 souls. If you're overclocking it, 24 hours a day, and it stays stable.
Okay, so we're going to put in what difficulty do you want me to put in it? It's on Coin Wars. It's saying
just put it at 44 million. Because that's 14 million more on the difficulty. Because it seems like every month this thing's doubling in difficulty as these machines are coming out.
Well, Glenn, you just had that chart up a minute ago. It was like, what, 5% increase last month? Or 10% or whatever the hell it was?
When we started looking at these things, John, do you remember back when we started looking, it was only at like 9 million. And that was less than, that was back in June. We were looking at it like, shit, it was going from 9 to 13 million. Then it went from 13, and I think now it's up to 30 million.
Oh, yeah, man. I was looking at making $7,000 a month.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, fuck, dude, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to make $100,000 this year, you know? That ain't the fucking
thing. Hey, guys, I remember talking about this. Remember?
What?
When when first opened up.
Oh, man, we don't need you rubbing the shit in our face, all right?
No, but let's be fair. You know, Glenn, when he first embarked, when he first looked into it, you know, he's like, oh, you know, $70, $80 a day kind of thing. And
yeah.
And then look where you are, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I did say ages ago, you know, like, it's quoting, I think for one Z9 Mini overclocked, it was saying that you were going to earn, I think it was around the $15 to $20 mark. And
it was like $25 a day John was hitting with the first batch. Because John, what were you at on the first batch? Was it $50 a day?
I think it was almost 60 though. I think it was like 50 bucks.
Yeah. He was murdering it. And I was like, now if you would first batch and running the first batch, I think you would have been good. But the second batch,
yeah, but we didn't know the second batch was going to not be as good as the first batch, and that you know I was able to sell my first batch and buy a lot more of the second batch.
Even the second batch is kind of bullshit because they're way unstable. Like, I finally had to overclock them. I think I got the frequencies at like 653, and it finally stabilized because they're just so like temperamental, man. It's like hell of unstable, you know.
I wonder if they do that to, like, so that only like techie people can get them running, so that way they can hopefully keep the difficulty down.
Yeah, because it's been a challenge. It's like trying to adjust fan speeds, and you know, I'm in a humid area. And it's hot as
like
shit.
a noob would probably just give up on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more than likely they hell with it. But yeah, they're it's like every day I've been having to mess with these things, and well, now I've got them stabilized these past 2-3 days. It's finally I found the sweet spot on these machines, but it's like they're hella touchy.
Yeah, I think mine will run at 668. That's it.
According to
try to set yours, John, at like in the 656 or 653 range. I think it is. I'm finding that they're more stable than the 668.
Yeah, I've actually got mine.
But he's in a cold climate, though. I think that's a big part of it too.
I've got mine at 656, and the other one at 656 actually.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Glen is 656 is where I find
pretty much every time they start erroring, I'd sort of go down a frequency.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding out too. Is that the voltage draw on them, I think, is what's causing the errors. So they want to heat up, and it's kind of like a game. Because, like, what are you running your fan speeds at?
I don't touch the fan speeds.
I just set them at 65% and left them, and then I put them down to 6.
Mine's at 4,300 on one.
So you're at about 65% too.
4,200 on the other.
If you go into your miner configuration and you see the general settings, click on that, and then it'll tell you what your fan speed is. It'll tell you what percentage you have it at. You see it down there at the bottom.
Yeah. What?
Oh, yours is blank. Oh, you got your set. Now, Glen, you just only have the 2 poles going. You don't have a third pole for a backup?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh, okay.
Fly pool tends to be my backup one, but I haven't. It's only happened once, I think, that it's had to use that.
Yeah.
Someone posted a question in the Discord. I don't know if you guys want to address
what happened?
Zach Cortana said, I wonder if the Rothschild family is mining Bitcoin. I doubt
Who is Bitglen?
Bitglen?
Yeah, it says anyone else here mining straight the pro hash to BTC like Bitglen?
I have got a face like a butt, so I'll forgive him for that. PJ, I put in into Coin Wars. I don't really like Coin Wars, but we'll use it for now, just as a quick reference. I put in the difficulty at 44.5 million.
Well, that's on. You're on. Okay, yeah, you're on cash. So now, what is profitability on it?
It's saying daily $2.82.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is that
so now
minus the electricity?
Yeah. Well, he's got the electricity in there set to what? 320 watts.
Yeah, I put 320 for the watts, and I put 14 cents per kilowatt hour.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So it's steadily just going to keep decreasing, and then pretty soon that shit's going to be down to you're only making cents. So it's like I'm trying to off these goddamn things as fast as I can now.
Yeah, right. So in selection now, right? When thinking forward, obviously now you've addressed this.
It's like he said, you got to grab the first batch of these shits and start mining immediately, and then sell them immediately. You know, these fucking ASIC machines are pieces of shit, and I'll probably not buy. Me and
John the other night, pardon me, we were talking the other night that some of this stuff's going to get reworked. You know, someone's going to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to be able to sell anything.
Market, like, you know.
I think that these machines are just a waste of fucking money, and you're better off to put your money into the coin and call it good instead of sitting there. I got so caught up with dollars and big bright-eyed bushy tail of, these things are going to make me this money. But no, it's not the case. It's just a piss-poor investment. You know.
PJ, what about? Didn't you buy some of the? Did you pre-order some of the new graphics cards from Nvidia?
Yeah, I got the 2080.
When are they being delivered?
The 20th is when they're supposed to be coming. And then tomorrow they're supposed to release figures on what their performance values are, so we'll wait and see. But I think that those are going to be completely worthless too, because even NVIDIA, these things are like $1,200 a pop, you know, and I think they raised them up like, I think that they put them so high is because they need to get rid of all the 1080 Ti's and the 1080s that they still have. So they're hoping to make a secondary market on this with the 1080 Ti's, and I think the 1080 Ti's, UDF Tech, I think is who it is on YouTube. He did a good coverage of it, but he's like, hey, look, the whole retracing shit is kind of bullshit because your 1080 Ti can brute force retracing and still run retracing. It might put some strain on your GPU, your 1080 Ti. So I don't think that the market is going to be there for these things, and I think people are still going to buy up the 1080 Ti's. But I think as far as mining goes, I don't know if these things will be worth the shit for mining. So it's going to be interesting. Some new tech has to come out for mining. Something has to come out. Like, I don't know if it's going to be FPGA, but something needs to come out. And I don't think it's going to come out for a little bit because, you know, you got Apple, which is focused on the, you know, they're eating all the RAM. There's a lot of people that are consuming other chips, and it's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this whole mining thing. You know,
they said they weren't expecting people to buy these cards to mine with.
No, yeah, they're not. But then at the same time, you know, if I can get a 2080 Ti and it does $6 to $8 a day, I'm gonna start buying them up. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day,
everything I said.
Well, because at the end of the day, if it can produce anywhere from $6 to, let's just say, $12, that's a fucking killing.
There might be a way to, like, some guy's gonna go in there and hack.
Well, you got a lot of people who are out there programming shit, and with these GPUs, you can they're a hell of a lot more profitable than ASIC machines because you can mine so many other algorithms. You know, right now everybody gets an ASIC machine and they're jumping on equihash, and you know, or you're jumping on whatever. But when it comes down to it, if I can put a GPU onto say NiceHash and produce Bitcoin with it at $12 a day, and it's only costing me 40 cents to run my GPU, you best believe I'm going to be GPU.
If they're saying that the old 1080s could do the retracement,
yeah, they're saying that the 10.
So the new ones are pretty much the 1080s plus the retracement. If you could somehow turn that retracement into like brute force, you'd be adding that extra power.
Well, the architecture is just different on them. You know, it's saying like you only get 30% more CUDA cores with it. So, but at the end of the day, what if I had two 1080 Ti's that were linked together? I'd have no problem running retracing with it. You know.
Yeah.
So it's all according. You know, it'd be interesting to see how they.
You know what? You never invest in the first wave of the new technology, really. Anyway. Really
I just did it because I need to see what's going to happen. But
you say that, but then a minute ago, you guys were saying you have to get the first batch of miners.
Well, that's why I pre-ordered these two, is because it's like, you know, I just want to see what they're capable of, and then go from there.
What you got, you know, with the money issue, it's different. But when you're talking about actual use, I guess you'll be using the video card to mine money. But in my case, what I'm saying is, if you're actually buying this, like they intend these cards to be, they didn't even make them really for 4K. That's another complaint.
No, yeah, they're not.
But they're using it. But the fact that they're adding the retracement and going that route adds a new level of realism. And
but it's all bullshit because if you watch the keynotes on it all, when Ginseng or whatever his name was trying to sell the shit, and he's like, oh, look at the shadows, and then he was trying to sell everybody on shadows and reflection off the car, which was complete horseshit. And it was like, dude, I'm not paying $1,200 or $600 to $800 more for some piece of shit card that puts shadows out. So I don't even think they'll be attractive to gamers, you know.
Well, it'll be more of the virtual. It'll be the VR You'll need it.
I don't even think for that it's going to be good. I still.
Well, you're going to need. It's also the VR is going to have. It's probably going to control like the sensors on the VR too. So it's like you're going to need because that VR is the augmented reality part is what I'm talking about. You're going to need for it to.
I think chipsets like
to look real.
Look, if Intel comes out with a new chip, or like say AMD comes out with a better processor, something that has some like serious fucking horsepower behind it, or some serious rendering behind it, I think these graphic cards are going to help run the system. But I think the new chipset will definitely change the course of everything. You know, like we were talking about quantum computing. I think I was talking with you, Travis, about the whole quantum computing and all that crap. So I think if a new chip, like some quantum computing chip comes out, man, I think all this shit's going to be destroyed. So it'll be interesting to see how it's being made and what the future of the actual CPU is going to become. You know, because it seems like AMD is putting a lot of focus on chipset instead of GPUs, and I think they're
combining it. They're trying to do this all-in-one kind of deal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think
you also have cell phone chips like excelling too, you know?
Yeah, like shit. I'm curious to see how people adapt these new Apple chips and take that technology and run with that, because they'll be the first to release, I think, the 7 nanometer before everybody else.
Yeah, so, I don't know if he was there, PJ. We were talking about that. Yeah, Apple announced their new phone, and when they announced, this is the world's first 7 nanometer chip, no one really applauded it. It wasn't really talked about. And when you look at all the news sites, all they talk about is, the new iPhone's in gold now, and it's this big, and it's got a slightly better battery life. And I was
nobody gives a shit about an iPhone, or maybe some people do, but trust me, there's companies out there that are going to be stripping that phone down to figure out what they did to get that chip to where it is, because that's been a huge thing for everybody. I mean, look at NVIDIA. You got AMD, you got Intel. They're going to scrutinize that thing, and they're going to be on it, you know. And I think we're getting ready to see a lot of 7 nanometer chips come out, because not even NVIDIA could create I don't know if they created one or not, but obviously they couldn't create the 7 nanometer because it's not even in the, or maybe it wouldn't make sense for them to release the 7 nanometer as compared to what they just released, you know. So it'll be interesting over the course of the last few months of this year to see what happens with all these chips.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's what I thought when I first heard the announcement. I thought, well, if Apple were cramming it into a little iPhone, then you know, what's to stop someone getting that technology and just obviously making
they're going to get
ASIC machines out of it as well. But there are, like, obviously GMO, we just looked into it, that they're doing a 7 nanometer ASIC miner, and they're sold out at the moment. But there's one website, I can't remember the name of it, John shared it, but they're quoting 110 terahash for 3,000 watts.
Yeah, it was a unicorn,
Titan unicorn, yeah.
Titan unicorn.
I don't even think that the 7 nanometer is going to be that big. I think that we're on the verge of seeing a completely different type of chip coming out from one of these companies. I mean, something that's just going to dominate the field. Because look at the Ryzen compared to Intel's chips. I mean, that Ryzen chip just shits all over Intel's chips, and Intel can't even compete with them right now. You know, like the i7 and the i9 is garbage compared to these other AMD chips that are out. And it's like, man, I think that one of these, somewhere along the lines in the next year, we're going to just see some fucking crazy chip that comes out. I think that's what's going to tip everything and change the world of computing. Something's got to change in the world of computing. Like, you know, something needs to come about. And I think we're on the verge of seeing something that's going to come about.
I think it's going to be, we're going to be getting into smaller chips.
Smaller chips, yeah, because like they were saying that quantum computing chip is only like the size of, you know, it's like the size of a pencil eraser or some shit.
Yeah, no, it's like a couple atoms. I mean, the actual part of it, it's only a few atoms, like a little.
Yeah.
The thing with quantum computing is that keep it cold.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though they're small chips, have you seen the fucking tanks that they have to put them into?
Yeah, like, because they have to isolate them completely from any fields from the outside world, because I mean, it's
Yeah,
measuring.
but
It's measuring electrons, like.
But it's just
anything
a matter.
Can change.
Look,
you know.
That's how they look right now. But it's just a matter of you figure it all out, and somebody's gonna be like, "Oh fuck! Well, if I do this, oh now we can stick it into a CPU." You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time until somebody gets it.
No, I know, and it's gonna the technology. Then it's gonna become computers are everywhere in your clothes, like.
Well, they're in the light bulbs now.
There'll be fucking tattoos that have computers in them that like.
They're in the light bulbs now.
I mean, everything could get hacked.
Exactly. Everything would be.
Your tattoo could get hacked.
Well, you won't be able to hack
Elon Musk worked on that neural lace. That was interesting. You know?
It's just the computing power will be so much quicker and so much faster. It's like I'll reference back to what Elon Musk was saying. It all comes down to data. How fastly can that data be computed? Because right now, computing data isn't as fast as what we need it to be. We need it to be faster. And I think once the data issue is solved, we're going to see some huge change. And I think it starts with this quantum computing.
Well, you know, I'm just thinking about it. And I was thinking about this. I thought about this a while ago. And I think it could either go two ways. Like right now, we're all just buying. But like, I was thinking we could get to the point where we could have one supercomputer and you just buy a screen and it literally has the full power of the supercomputer, but you just have one like leg of it and everyone shares the leg. It's just so powerful. And rather than everyone buying their own hardware and all this stuff and constantly, this thing is just always, you know, I can see it going that way.
What was the name of that computer in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, shit.
I mean, that's
that one supercomputer.
Well, I can see that happening because an economic advantage point is that you're not constantly producing a bunch of trash like every year.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that trash.
No, not right now they don't, but when it starts to be in their backyard and they're dodging it and it's just everywhere. And
but people don't want to give up their right to be able to like.
Yeah, that's Americans.
You'll probably be able to buy like the advanced, like nasty package branch of the arm of the
nasty package.
You know, like just so you feel better.
Let's just keep it real. Me as an American, I love
Taliban's brands.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying.
Let's keep it clean in here. Remember, we got a young'un in here.
I mean,
every time you guys want to cuss, just say beep.
Beep 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 beep. I've been keeping it clean, but I'm just saying I can see that happen. I mean, the mobile technology, it gets to a point like we're already cloud compute, like clouds. We're putting our data on the cloud. You can even game on the cloud if you have a low spec game. I don't know if that service.
No, look at what NVIDIA did. NVIDIA's already got it linked. Their new PC gaming link or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
you don't even have a physical game. You just log in and you play games.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. So it's gonna start being to the point where your whole computer experience. I mean, there already are services like that. They're just not very popular. But like somebody might. As soon as someone thinks to themselves, like, I can buy a new video card and spend all this money, which a lot of people are. I mean, personally, I love building the computers. I love the tech.
I think people are getting stupider as time goes on.
Well, they don't need to be as smart. Elon, remember he was talking about like our percentage of our intelligence is going to go down as the intelligence of AI.
Well, it is going down. It's already proven that it's going down. You know, like people are getting dumber as time goes on because it's dependent on
different types of intelligence emerging. Though they don't discuss this. What the kind of dumb that we're getting is
there's like no common sense anymore.
It's like data, but we're not getting dumb in the fact that I mean, some people are being convinced to make decisions, but the smart people now are able to look through the bullshit, the beep shit.
There you go.
I'm like the beep shit.
Great symptom there, man.
Now, anyway, random gamer dude, can you say certain cuss words or?
If you play any kind of Xbox game, then you hear enough swears.
Are we offending you?
Yeah, I'm allowed to say like hell and damn and that.
Okay. Are we offending you?
It doesn't matter because honestly, I hear it everywhere. It's all over the world. Everyone.
They're saying it in school too.
I mean, you guys got to keep it legit. I mean, this kid,
Listen,
he's a kid.
This kid's awesome. No, at the end of the day,
well,
man.
I won't go past the S word if it slips every once in a while. Comedy Central can say
I won't say Bitcoin Taliban again.
What's that?
I won't say Bitcoin Taliban again.
We've got someone commenting in the live chat. Engine Enver says Lava Snow Ethereum ASIC is in the pipeline. 1,400 mega hash with power draw at 1/8 of the electricity consumed by the Antminer E3. Does anyone know about that?
Yeah, I think it was the Crypto Friends were talking about that on their new show that they just done. They just need to. I think what needs to happen is they just need to change the algorithm and get back into. I mean, it's good for security. Like ASICs are great for securing the chain, but at the end of the day, it's like there is no serious money being made by the everyday miner in mining anymore, unless you're buying like 100 of these machines. You know.
According to this, if you buy one of them machines, they're going to generate $20 per day compared to the projected $3 a day from the Bitmain miner. As a result, the company expects customers to break even on the cost of mining within 4 months of purchase.
But that's horseshit too, because
once
as those things start hitting the market, it's just going to elongate your return on investment, because then it's going to drive the difficulty way up.
You know, honestly, like Glenn, I see you doing these Bitmain videos and it's like kind of promoting them a little bit.
I think what we need to do is all gather together and go protest against Bitmain and start getting them shut down and get back to
you should do the same video but put a negative, like something negative in the comment. Make it like Bitmain.
Bitmain Satan. Bitmain is Satan.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I've done, obviously, every time they add a new product on their line, obviously, I've done a video about it.
Yeah, and they love you.
Generally,
they need to be paying you.
No, they wouldn't pay me, because actually, if you watch the videos I do, pretty much all the machines I've ever talked about, I then go and work out the profitability of them, and I say, no, there's no point buying it.
You do it on video. I haven't watched those completely through. It's because I'm not going to buy them. So.
No, that's true. If you're not interested in them, but you know, obviously it's an interest to me at the moment. So it's something that obviously I want to talk about and share. But I try and you know, say the pros and cons, and it's not just Bitmain. It's you know, I look at GPUs.
You're in the moment of mining, and I get it.
Yeah, you know, you. With this game, it seems like you have to be like, if something's profitable, you have to be doing it day one. Otherwise, you're going to miss the boat.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And really, it seems like a chase. I've said a few times that if mining doesn't work out, then really for cryptocurrency, that's like the last leg for me.
Yeah, I think you've tried them all at this point.
Yeah, because at that point, all it would be was, because I don't want to talk about any shit coins. I don't want to talk about altcoins anymore. I don't want to talk about ICOs. I don't want to talk about cloud mining. So then it becomes, do I do videos where I go, hey guys, out of my payslip this month, I've bought $100 worth of Bitcoin. See you next month for the next review. You know, and there's nothing I can offer further.
I think that would be better than a lot of these videos. Maybe you should take a different approach on it all. Because it seems like, you know what I think is, like, a lot of the times you get a lot of views on your videos, but it seems like the same people. It's either myself, basically who's all in this chat right now. We're pretty much your dedicated fan base, I think, with the exception of a few people who always come in on the YouTube part of it.
Yeah.
But, like, it seems like we're the only ones who really get into it and talk about you. But then we get sidetracked on talking about other things, too.
Oh, no, Well, I mean, that's part.
But I think that sometimes the conversation's better when we talk about these side things than actually talking about mining.
Well, that might be a good way to attract people. Is you kind of talk about crypto. You talk about whatever, but crypto is kind of like what we revert things to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's really how you adopt it. You know, when you don't talk about if let's just make this like we're in the internet boom. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about www.com is going up, blah blah. We would start talking about like we need a website that you can sell stuff on, and we need a website.
Let's take a quick. I got a question for a random gamer. What do you find interesting about Bitglen's channel or Bitglen?
Well, first of all, he is one of the only English channels that are good that I can find. I mean, I see videos all the time that are in.
Oh shit! What happened to little Tyke, man?
Oh, here's it, man.
No, he's back.
Sorry, I accidentally left. But as I was saying, it has an English title, an English description, and I'll click on Konjib or the Bitcoin. He's in English, one thing, and his videos are interesting. You know, I like hearing about mining. I think it's interesting, and just it's hard to find a good cryptocurrency channel, and he talks about the interesting things in it.
I'm finding that myself, actually, gamer dude. Like it's, I used to try and consume as much cryptocurrency video content as I could. I was listening what everyone said. Whether I believed them or not was another thing. I was just consuming it. And now you start to see the path that a lot of cryptocurrency personalities are going down, and you think, oh, I'm not going to watch that because I know they're going to talk about that, and they're trying to push that, and they're trying to shield this, and I just find myself now, I'm finding it really hard to get interested in any cryptocurrency YouTube videos, to be honest. I don't want to hear about any ICOs. I don't want to hear about the pump of any coin. I don't want to hear about even Bitcoin. There's a channel, I don't mean to pick on him, but there's a channel, I'll show you. He started off doing videos like how profitable is the S9 this month, and he was doing them every single month. You might know the guy I'm talking about. I think it's called Crypto Tech Cash or something like that. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I think you're talking about as well.
Right, now he set up 3 different channels, right, which is fair enough, but I'll just show you what I mean. And I think it's misleading, because what he's doing is he's creating videos almost on a daily basis, trying to say how Bitcoin's going to go up to 20k this month, but it's every week he's posting the same video. I'll just show you what I mean.
On a bull run, even though there are no signs of a bull run, I believe, and I am praying to God, so that's all we need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think it's misleading because it makes people watch that type of content and think, oh shit, I better get into like this. Look, if you look at all these, look, Bitcoin is soon to soar. Bitcoin will be worth billions. Bitcoin has found a bottom. Starbucks and Apple will make Bitcoin $1 trillion business. Bitcoin will grow immense. Bitcoin is absolutely done. Yeah, it's
title.
That's good. Like, it's good that he's obviously positive about Bitcoin, but if you were clicking on all these videos, you would think, oh shit, yeah, I better buy Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin does go down to 4k, you're going to think, fuck. Superman obviously still talking about all these random shit coins and altcoins. The crypto twins just talk about Ripple a lot. You know, this guy's pretty good. How much to Bitcoin? He's quite a genuine guy.
I like to watch
Superman.
This one here. How much Bitcoin?
That's the only thing I like now. If I watch somebody, it'll be somebody that's doing like technical analysis.
I like watching this guy. His name is Casey.
Mitch.
And he's the best. Here, I'll post.
Is he a British guy?
No, he's a white dude in New York.
There's some dude that does.
Hey, I'll post his channel right here now.
If you search how to leverage trade on Bitglen. His video is like #1. He just did it like he didn't expect it to blow up, and because of that video blowing up, he does like a live broadcast every. And I come to find the kid's only like 13 or 14 years old. And,
it's a random gamer dude.
But he's like really good with his. He's really good with his TA. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I look at everybody's TA and I come up. And then I look at it myself and try to see what they're coming up with. But that's all I watch now. I don't watch like Supo, man. I mean, I checked in on him just to see if he was still doing videos, and they're actually coming out less frequent. And like. I don't see Ivan on. I mean, I know he does like a live stream, and then I haven't seen Dash Mining or whatever, Box Mining.
You guys ever watch Carter Thomas?
Still coming.
Yeah, I do watch Carter. Carter's good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh, here's what I found that works really well for me on the TA. I took a printout off of CoinMarketCap and I pinned it to my wall. And then what I do is I take a dart and I close my eyes and I throw it right at the CoinMarketCap list. And wherever that dart hits, I go in and invest my money into that coin.
You know what I realized too? I know that's funny.
It's great TA.
Well, you know what I was thinking too is you guys remember this is about CoinMarketCap, okay? You guys remember back in the day when BitConnect was going on, right? You guys remember seeing all the ads? You remember all the ads on CoinMarketCap? You know, like you click through those ads, you were signing up under CoinMarketCap. Like they promoted all those scams.
So did YouTube. YouTube was out there. Hi, my name's John. I have 96 Bitcoin in my wallet.
Those are the users. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the website that everyone goes to and looks for at price. If you go to other websites, there will be different orders. Like they're not in the same order. You know what I'm saying?
Because CoinMarketCap is full of shit. You know what I mean?
It is, and everyone relies on it. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, how many of these? Like Ripple. Like I don't think it's actually supposed to be up there.
Wasn't there a guy doing that? Ripple, you know, back in December.
Remember when Glenn was like this?
Called Andre.
Do you remember when Glenn was just like, I'm only investing in the Ripple because it's the most legit company?
Actually, I was talking about that before you guys all
only
came
company
on the
that has a product. I loved it.
No, honestly, I was saying that if you was to look at these, obviously all these coins, and if you was to take out, if you just took out the names of the coins so you couldn't see them, yeah? So if you're all looking at my screen, if I was to do this, and you were just looking at these figures, yeah? You weren't looking at the projects, yeah? Because the only one we believe in is Bitcoin, yes? That's the only one we believe in. So the rest of them are all shit,
Ripple.
yeah?
But TRX, boy, Tron. Buy that Tron.
It's on Exodus now. Exodus has got it.
Hey, where's Justin? Can we ring him and get him?
No, don't bring him into it.
If you don't like Tron, there's always birds too, you know.
But my only point was that if you look at these prices and you look at what they were or what they were on average and stuff like that, the one that I could see going back up was today I was saying about Stellar or Ripple, and I think those two, especially if Stellar goes on to Coinbase, not that I believe in it, I don't think it's awesome or anything like that. I still just believe in Bitcoin, but you got to look, it's 20 cent now, and I can quite easily see that being 40 cent.
Maybe
I can see Tron going from 1 cent to 3 cent.
Yeah,
sooner than any of them going.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I do have a little bit of Tron because of that. I got it. But
I do too, man.
with Stellar,
I got some.
You know what I'm noticing? You know what I notice about Stellar is the way it moves, just like XRP. Like the way it moves, it doesn't move often, and it moves a great deal, and then that's it. So, like as far as trade in Stellar or XRP, they're garbage. They just
Exodus added the mainnet Tron to their wallet now, right?
You don't even trade it within the exchange. I'm actually putting all my money on Mirth.
On what?
On what?
Mirth.
Merv.
Yeah, it's some random ass coin. I'm just picking random shit from the bottom of the list and hoping for
I'm just trying to get a little more Bitcoin on this. I don't right now, like with the price, like it could go up. There's some like resistance around 65. I think we're in that now. I haven't refreshed it.
65.50.
Yeah, so there's some resistance there. If we break through that, it's gonna go up. I'm thinking like 72 max, 7,000 probably.
Yeah.
It's probably where it's gonna hit. Like that's where resistance.
But what happens? But what happens when it gets there?
And then it's gonna come back down.
And then what? And then it's gonna go
and
back
then we're
up.
looking at 55 maybe or 58, which I would say.
Personally, I don't give a shit of price of Bitcoin. Talk to me in about 3 years, and then I'll give a shit where the price is at. Until then, I just really don't even give a shit. I'm gonna keep buying it. I'm gonna keep storing it. I'm gonna keep holding it because it's like at the end of the day.
That's fine. I'm just trying to time my buyings. That's all. Because I don't. I can't.
Oh yeah.
I don't
have.
It
doesn't matter what price you buy it at, as long as you keep buying it.
I know, but it does matter if you can make it. If you can put the time in to buy on a special time, it pays off. Okay, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Too, you know.
Yeah, but it's like I've got so much time in this, and I've been buying Bitcoin at all this price and different prices, and then mining it. Now it's just like
you have less time and more money. I have more time and less money.
Man, you know what's impressive is that we've been streaming for 3 hours and there's still 12 people watching.
It's good.
Thank you for sticking around.
Oh, shit, you're still streaming?
I was thinking about, I know this sounds really sad, but a lot of people ask me, like, Glenn, what pool are you using? Where do you transfer money to? And all that. I was thinking I could just point the camera at the rig, leave open my pro hashing page, and just leave it going for like 24 hours and just like let people watch it just tick along.
No.
24-hour mining stream, man.
Yeah, you promised us a live stream for 24 hours. We're still waiting.
I don't know if you guys know, but with YouTube, you can't stream for 24 hours straight without them cutting the video off at 8 hours.
I think it's 8 hours. Yeah.
So there is a way around it, but you have to do like a workaround, and I don't know how to do that yet. So I was looking into it. So I was
streaming to Twitch.
Well, I was thinking I don't want to... Actually, this is live on Twitch now, as well as on YouTube. I created a Twitch stream, and this streams to both.
Oh, damn, look at you.
So now we're on all over the internet like double zipping.
He's in there making money on Twitch.
He's like, you don't even...
He's whoring us out.
He's like, getting off donations.
You naughty boy.
Well, actually, I created a page because I don't actually know how Twitch works. I've never used it before. And
Twitch. Let me get on my Twitch real quick here.
It works well with Discord too, I guess. You know.
It's supposed to because it's made for it. You know.
Yeah.
Or it's built with it. Glenn, what's your channel? Can you post the link inside of the?
I think it's just Bitglen.
Is it?
I used Twitch when it was what's called Justin TV. You ever heard of that? Justin TV.
Justin Bieber TV. What?
No, it was called Justin.tv, and then they changed to Twitch. Justin TV.
Justin Bieber TV. What?
No, it was called Justin.tv.
Somebody's got some feedback going there.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, so I was thinking about doing like a live stream, like a 24-hour one, like a mining live stream, because then I don't want to create 24 hours of content for it to never ever get published and no one ever sees it. So I thought if I at least try it with that, I'm not going to cry too much if, you know, that gets deleted and lost somewhere in the world of YouTube.
Well, there is no...
You could check on your miners too when you're not home. Like, you can be like, how am I doing?
I could just watch my YouTube video, yeah.
Oh, shit, you are on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going right now.
How many viewers on Twitch?
None.
None.
Me? Oh no, there's 8. There's 8 people watching on Twitch.
Is there?
What?
Well,
Yeah, total. Well, no, wait. Maybe I'm.
That might be total views.
No, yep, I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Oh, score!
Crashing my server, man.
First comment. Hey.
Hold on, here we go. I got it up in the Discord now. Bam! There's the link. Twitch.
I was just messing about and seeing if I can stream to more than one service at the same time.
You are literally. You are on. You're on. I got you on YouTube and Twitch right now.
Hey.
I need to change my link. They bring me to Internet Explorer on this.
I noticed actually since I've been doing sort of shorter, quick burst videos about mining, my subscribers, instead of going down, have actually gone up, and they're going up quite fast. I've gained about 36 subscribers in the last 3 to 4 weeks, whereas before that it was declining, so it's gone the other way. And on my views.
Hey, can't you get in trouble for streaming both of them?
No.
Nah, you can't. You're good.
I thought YouTube would like delete the video if they found out you were.
No, UDF Tech does all the time heating off there.
What you're not supposed to do on YouTube, which I do all the time, and I'm waiting for someone to dob me in, so please don't dob me in. You're not allowed to disclose this page here because it has your how much you're earning from YouTube. Which I've always been honest about anyway, but you're not allowed. You're not supposed to disclose that to
don't
people.
do it from that. Like if this thing starts blowing up, you're gonna be pissed. Probably should.
You know what I like about Twitch is that you can pay you over here pretty easy.
In what? In Bitcoin or Litecoin or what?
No, they got it in like a.
You have to buy Twitch something and then send it to me.
Yeah, it's like a Twitch token.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they do that Theta token? Is that in there?
No, I wish the bat token you're talking about.
No, it's Theta. It's THETA.
Oh, okay.
That's Theta. Theta's supposed to be like some like streaming token or whatever.
No, they do their own stuff. John, are you the other one watching right now?
Where?
On Twitch?
No, I don't have a Twitch account.
We got 2 people watching. Myself.
Hey.
Oh, maybe it's Glenn.
No, it's not me.
Oh.
You can still launch without an ID, I think.
Oh, I think I've got it open in the Discord app. That's where it is.
Well, you got 2 viewers on Twitch. We're stepping on it to the Twitch side.
Okay.
Well,
where is it? Where is it? Is it the restream you say down there in the?
I posted the link inside of the chat.
Okay, well I'll log in.
No, it's inside of the Discord right here.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yes, big, bold. Can't miss it, I swear.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, okay. Time to put my spectacles on.
No, it's not that. I was doing something else.
Just kidding.
You won't put my spectacles on.
Do them spectacles.
Listen, I've got you. I see your track.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna go. It was fun talking to you.
Yeah,
see you later, Gamer Dude. Thanks for joining us.
You go tell your friends.
Go tell all your friends about Bitcoin.
I have.
Tell them to smash the likes.
Yeah, you're right. If they're thinking you're crazy, you're starting to lose all your friends, then don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, right. Well, I suppose we should end the stream now, unless anyone else got a topic they want to talk about. We should probably wrap it up and call it a night. So, I don't know. Do you guys all want to say goodbye?
No, never.
No, I'm sticking
I
around.
have no life. I'm retired.
Yeah, hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. That's fun.
Take it easy.
Oh, that's great. You know.
Right, that's it from me, guys. So I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll do some...
wait a minute. I have a question.
Go on, then.
What was the point of asking us if we wanted to stream it if you're just going to hang up on it?
What's that?
What's the point of asking us if you want to keep?
You're cutting out. I can't hear.
Oh, never mind. It's okay. We love you, Glenn.
All right, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking around for so long. And don't forget to hit the like, click the subscribe if you're new to this channel. And I'll see you guys in the week for some more update mining videos from me and from Team Bitglen. Bye.
Belly out.
Right.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.